Hey guys, good evening. Guys, if you are able to see my screen, just type S in the chat box so that we can get started with today's session. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So let's get started with today's session. In the previous session, we have started with the part one of API testing. Okay. So if you have missed that particular part, just it is a theoretical part, guys. Okay. But which was an important session that I completed in the last week or someday. Okay. So if you have missed that session, hope you have the access to this Google Drive. You just go through that. Okay. So in this folder, basics folder, you have this API testing. Okay. This one. In that, the previous session recording is there. You can go through that. Okay. Today we are in the part two. Part one is here. If you have missed that session, you can go with the part one, which is there in this folder. Okay. Fine. Now let's keep moving forward. Okay. So I'll be opening the notes and all, okay, to explain all the stuff to you. Fine. So in the part one, I covered all this stuff. What is API? What is the full form of API? What are the different layers of the application in order to understand the API? Okay, what are the different layers of the application you have to understand? I already covered in the previous session. Now comes reasons for developing the APIs. Okay, what is the current topic now? In this session, I'm going to cover the next topic, that is reasons for developing APIs. Why the developers have to develop the APIs? What is the use? Okay, what is the use of developing the APIs, or what is the use of creating APIs for an application? Why in real time the APIs are being developed by the developers? What is the purpose these APIs are solving in the real time is very important before we get started or moving to the actual API testing and all. Okay, so let's understand some concepts of APIs. So what is the use of APIs in real time as part of the projects and all at a high level I'm going to cover. The first use is functionality of the software to be used by other software. Okay. One of the advantage of using APIs is a software can use a functionality of another software. Example is Make My Trip. What is the example, guys? Make My Trip is the example. Okay. Let me open the website of Make My Trip. Everyone knows Make My Trip, right? What is a Make My Trip is all about? Before I open that Make My Trip, anyone know what is the use of why we have to go for Make My Trip, or why we have to use Make My Trip? Just you can type in the chat box if you want to participate here. The question I'm asking is, what is the use of a Make My Trip website? To travel new places? Okay. Be more specific. Be more specific. What is the use of Make My Trip? Why we have to use Make My Trip website? After going to the Make My Trip website, what is that thing that you are going to do? Bookings, right? You can book some. What are the different things that you can book? Booking tickets, that's correct. Okay, booking hotels, booking flights. Yes, booking flights and all, right? Fine. You are right, guys. Okay, whatever you said is 100% right. I'll just open the makemytrip.com website. This is a Make My Trip. Looks like some offer is going on. Just close this. Okay. This is a Make My Trip website. And here, there are a lot of options. It's not just about flights. If you see the makemytrip.com website, flights are there, hotels are there. If you want to stay in homestays and villas, okay, like Airbnb kind of stuff, holiday packages you can book from here. You can book some trains, buses, cabs. You can apply for visa and all, okay? Visa applying services they are providing. All the currency exchanges they will do. They will give you travel insurance and many other stuff. You see, the domain is very big. This is a travel domain, yes or no? Guys, this website is all about travel domain, right? It's not a banking application. It's not an insurance application. It's a travel application. Okay. Travel domain, you can say. Fine. Okay. So I don't want to pick each and every functionality here. I would like to focus on the flights. Okay. I would like to focus on the flights. I want to travel from Hyderabad to Vietnam. In that Vietnam, I just want to go to Ho Chi Minh City, let's say, whatever that came by default. That's okay. On which dates I want to travel, let's select a date. This is, March 5th, sorry, April. This is which month this is, guys? Okay. We are in which month actually? May, right? We are in May month. In May, this is a May we are, right? And today's date is around, 4th. let's say I want to travel next on 12th, I want to travel, okay? I want to travel on 12th and I would, you see 12th I selected already. It's asking me to select the return date. I want to return by, 19th I want to return, okay? Only one traveler, regular, okay? I am not a student, so I am not going to select this one and click on search. The moment I click on search in this Make My Trip website, hold on, we are fetching the flights for you is coming. In the search results, Indigo flights came, AirAsia flights came, okay? AirAsia flights came, Indigo Airways, Indigo came, okay? Different flight company websites are coming here, as you can see. Air India is coming, AirAsia is coming, Thai Air Asia is there. What else are the different flights we have here? Flights of different companies are coming here, not just Indigo. You see, most of the things are like Thai Airways, Air India, and Indigo. Okay, for that location, maybe these are the flight companies that are there. Okay, many companies are there. Okay, so I'll change the location here, guys. I'll just say Bangalore so that we can see whatever the flights that are there in India. Okay, again, the same thing, May 12th to May 19th, the same thing. Okay, search here, you will get the flights from. If you want to travel from Hyderabad to Bengaluru, what are the different flights available? They're coming. Okay, Hyderabad to Bengaluru. Okay, Air India Express is there. Then Indigo is there. Then Akash Air is there. All this disturbance is there again. Okay. Alliance Air is there. Air India is there. Indigo is there. Star Air is there. Okay. Many flight companies are there here. Is Make My Trip only up to a particular flight company, guys? Is Make My Trip only at a particular company, a flight company, or multiple flight companies? Multiple flight details are coming. Does Indigo flight company has its own website? Yes, it has its own website. Go to the Indigo. Indigo, search for Indigo Airlines. Okay. And you see, Indigo. Go indigo.in is the website, actual, the official website of, the website of the flight company. If you want to book the flights of Indigo directly, you can directly land on this website. You don't have to come to makemytrip.com. You can directly go to goindigo.in and here you can give where you want to travel and all those stuff, and you can search for the flights. You can search for the flights as you have done in the same Make My Trip. Here, this is an Indigo website where only if you want to travel from Hyderabad, let's say same locations I'll give Hyderabad. I want to go to Bengaluru. Okay, on which dates I want to move? Same dates I'll select 12th and I would like to return by 19th. Okay, search. Here, different flight companies will not come. Only Indigo related flights will come. Only the flights which belong to Indigo company will come because this is a website of Indigo. So if you are searching the flights in Indigo website, only the Indigo related flights will come. No other Air India, Air Express, all this Emirates or all these flight companies details will not come. Only the Indigo related flight company details will come here, guys. Okay, that's how it will be done, right? Now, this is a own website. No, but what is happening here is people may not come to Indigo always. People may go to some kind of famous websites like Make My Trip and book the flight of the Indigo from their website. Okay, if the Indigo is not there here, the Indigo will lose its customers, right? The Indigo will lose its customers. Okay, so people will let's say people are preferring to use makemytrip.com to book the flights, and if the Indigo website has not given the API of its to the Make My Trip, how can Make My Trip will display the flight details of Indigo? Got it, right? You understood the reason why APIs are required here. One of the reasons why APIs are required. So in Make My Trip, how come the flight details of Indigo are coming is a question. In makemytrip.com website, how come the flight details of Indigo are coming? They are coming because Indigo company has shared the APIs of the flight details to the Make My Trip. Make My Trip is using the API details of the flights to display the flights when they are going and all those stuff. Okay, API of this flights is of Indigo Airlines is given to the Make My Trip. Make My Trip is not only taking the APIs of Indigo, but also taking the APIs of Air India Express, also taking the APIs of the Akasha Air. Okay, also taking APIs of Air India to display their flight details. Okay, Star Air also, APIs of the Star Air are being used by Make My Trip website to display the flight details of the Star Air and many more, right? This is what is happening. Able to understand, right? So one of the reasons why APIs need to be created is if a particular software wants to use the functionality of another software, one of the way is by using the APIs of other software, okay, this software can use functionalities of another software like Make My Trip. Clear, guys? This is one of the business case study for using the APIs where Make My Trip is using the APIs of different flight companies like Air India, Indigo, Air Express, Emirates, and so on. Clear, everyone? Just type C in the chat box if you are clear. Just try to understand the concepts, guys. Okay, don't go in depth for now. Okay, we are going to do discuss a lot of things in depth, but it's before we start using API testing and all, right, we should get an idea why we are using that. Okay, what is the need of APIs is something you need to understand first. Okay, without this, if you directly jump to API testing, right, you will have half big knowledge. Okay, so be clear about that. Another case study is Google authentication in Jira. Not only Jira, guys, many other places. If you go to any website, guys, any website these days, let's go to any website, okay? Let's take an example of some website, like any website. Let's say, what are the different websites we have here? Let's say Amazon.in, let's say. I don't know. This is, let's go with Flipkart otherwise. Flipkart.com. Okay, let's see. I'll try to log in here. Login. I'll click on login. Okay, it's directly using the email only. I'll go to Jira. There is another website for Jira, guys. Jira by Atlassian. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, hope you are able to see. Fine. Okay, let's come to the website of Jira, guys. I want to create an account with or sign in with, I want to sign into Jira. Here you see they are giving some Google. I can use my own email address or I can even use Google to sign in. I can give my credentials of, or I can use something here. I don't know about Make My Trip whether I have such kind of stuff or not. Okay. Uh, I'll open this I'll try to use some different websites, guys. Okay, Make My Trip is one website. Login or create account. You see, either you can use your mobile number or business account, or you can also sign in with what? Gmail. You can also sign in with Gmail. You can give the credentials of Gmail to sign in. Okay. So this one something that is important, guys. That's something that is important is happening here. I'll just write Jira here again. Jira. I'll go to Jira website. Jira website. Okay. I would like to sign in. I'll just select Google. The moment I click on Google, right, it's asking me to select a Google account that you want to sign in with. Okay. If I select this one, I don't have to create a separate account with Jira. I don't have to create a separate account with Jira again. Whatever the account I have with Google, I can use the same account to sign in for Jira. So here, Google authentication, signing into Jira via Google authentication is something possible because Jira is using the APIs of which company now? To make the sign in to Jira possible via Google authentication, Jira website is using the sign in of, APIs of which company? Google company, right? This is what. But how come the Jira can use the sign in authentication of the Google authentication for signing into Jira? For getting authenticated with Jira, how the Jira is getting authenticated with help of Google? How it is possible with help of what? APIs. APIs of which company? Google company. Jira is using the authentication APIs of Google to get signed in. Got it right? This is another case study, guys. Like this, many examples will be there. Guys. Okay. We'll do good amount of discussion today. Don't worry. Okay. So these very interesting topics and all. Okay. Let's not make our learning hurry burry and all those stuff. Okay. Let's learn whatever we are learning in a in-depth manner. And when someone asks you in the interviews and all, these questions can rise from anywhere. Okay. As an interviewer will try to understand what you know. The questions may not be, 100 interview questions on API. It doesn't matter. Okay. Questions can come from anywhere. These simple examples also questions may come. They may ask you to explain about these case studies and all. Should be able to explain about the case studies. Okay. So one of the advantage of using APIs in real world is like a software can use a software as a functionality of another software with the help of APIs of another software. A particular software can use the APIs of another software to use the functionality of another software. Okay. One of the example is Make My Trip. Another example is Google Authentication. Okay. You see, nowadays learning is very simple. Okay. Learning is also simplified with the help of ChatGPT and all. Okay. Give examples of websites of software which are using the APIs of other software. For example, Make My Trip. Make My Trip is showing the flight details of Indigo, let's say Indigo, and Jira is using Google Authentication. Similarly, 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 if you have any other examples to share, okay, which are well known and easy to understand, it will be great. Chat with ChatGPT like a friend, guys. Okay, so then only you'll get better answers and all. Okay, don't think that I'm chatting in a high level. If you're chatting, it won't work. Okay, give like as you feel, like from your heart, whatever you feel, you just give the chat message. And nowadays it's giving two responses and asking us why it's asking. I don't like this kind of thing. Okay, but still we have to get used to it. You see, other examples we got here are Uber and Google Maps API. Uber will be Uber is a cab service. Okay, it has a different software, but it has to use. It will take the help of Google Maps. After you book a cab, right? You and the cab driver will get the access to the APIs. Google Map API, which will show the direction and all. Okay. Airbnb and payment APIs. Okay. When you are booking some rooms in Airbnb, okay. When you are booking some rooms with Airbnb, we can use different payment APIs. Okay. Like different ways of paying the Airbnb via PayPal and Stripe APIs can be used. Payment gateways. Any website, if you go and take different websites, right? The payment gateways is a good example, right? Payment gateways is a good example for APIs. If you go to any application, right? Let's say Amazon.in and go to this and try to place the orders. Let's see your orders. I'll try to place an order or something. Buy it again or something. Okay, let's go. This is one of the peanut butter I have recently purchased. Got to know that this is the number one in the market, so I tried it out. It was good. It is great actually. You can also try if you want. I'll simply for now, just for demo, I'm using the same thing. Once you come here, you see here UPI is there. How can you pay via UPI? In the Amazon, how can you pay via UPI? Because Amazon is using the APIs of Amazon Pay. Or you can also use credit card. You can enter the details of credit card of different Mastercard, Mastro, okay, RuPay and all those stuff. You can give the details and all, okay. Then you can also use net banking of different banks. You see, any particular bank you take, you can use. Your APIs of HDFC Bank net banking is being used. If you select ICICI Bank, APIs of ICICI Bank are being used for getting the payment getting done. Okay. So like this different APIs of different banks are integrated here. You see, so much important, right? Can you get a feeling like how important the APIs are in real world? Without the APIs, how can you get the things done? Even you can give the UPI ID you can give and then verify and get the things, or finally many other stuffs are available. You see, lot of APIs. These are third party things. Okay. Amazon and HDFC Bank are of not a same company, right? HDFC Bank is a different banking company. But if the Amazon want to use some functionality of the HDFC Bank net banking service of HDFC Bank, so APIs of HDFC Bank net banking for logging and all are being used by the Amazon here. Okay, to get the things done. So very good example. Uber and Google Maps, you can okay. Uber and Uber and Google Maps API. You already know, okay, how it is being used in the real world, okay? This is Spotify and Facebook login API, okay? Not only Google authentication. Have you seen Facebook login authentication, guys? Have you seen Facebook login authentication? Let's go to Spotify. They are giving some examples for Spotify, right? Spotify. If you go to Spotify here, and try to sign into Spotify. What is Spotify, guys? Anyone know what is Spotify? What is a Spotify? It's about podcasts and music maybe. Okay, different music of different things. And I'll try to log in here. About music, right. You see here Spotify is using the Google APIs, Google authentication APIs to sign into Spotify. You don't have to create a separate account on Spotify. You can use Google authentication for this. Okay, you can also use Facebook way of authentication, Apple authentication. You can also use phone number, and you can use email address. A lot of possibilities are there to sign into Spotify. You don't have to create a fresh account with Spotify. You can use the APIs of Spotify will use the APIs of Google, and will allow the end users who are using the Spotify website to log in with the help of Google authentication instead of creating a separate account. You see, this kind of facilities are nowadays. Instagram and Twitter API. Okay, so when you post something into Instagram, you can automatically post the same thing into Twitter, because okay, that connection between the Instagram will use the APIs of Twitter API. Okay, many things are there. You see how many things are there in the real world, guys. Paytm is a what is this Paytm, guys? What is this Paytm? Wallet kind of stuff, right? Okay, this can you can make payments in Paytm and all by using the UPS, okay, and all those stuff. Google Pay and bank APIs, okay. Google Pay, GPay, like Phone Pay and Google Pay. Nowadays, Google Pay and Phone Pay are kind of popular in the India, right? You can make the payment seamlessly anywhere you go, right? Just open your mobile app and you can make the payments, okay, of any shop and all. Okay, Google Pay is integrating your with your bank account, and you don't even have to give the net banking details of your bank account. Simply open Google Pay, and if any amount is there in your bank account, Google Pay will make your payments easy. Okay, how that is possible? Google Pay is using the APIs of bank applications. These are the real world things that we have not putting focus actually, but you are trying to understand. It's kind of very easy now, right? Amazon and FedEx UPIs and all, Shopify and PayPal, many are there. Netflix and AWS APIs, YouTube and Google Translate APIs. Okay, Slack and Google. You see many other examples. Zoom, whatever the currently I'm using, and Microsoft Outlook API. Okay, many things are there, guys. Okay, so yeah, which one is better, guys? Which one you like? This one looks good for me, I feel. Weather apps using Open Weather Map API, travel booking sites using airlines APIs. Already have given the example. Slack using Google Drive API. Okay, Slack is using Google Drive's API. E-commerce websites using Stripe or PayPal API. Food developer apps using restaurants APIs. Fitness apps using Apple Health or Google Fit API. Okay, both are good. Okay, both are good. Okay, so uh, yeah, this one looks good. Explanation and all this kind of structure looks good for me. They constantly take the feedback of what type of things should be provided. That's great actually from ChatGPT. Fine. Then what is the next thing? Everyone clear with the first point, right? Functionality of software to be used by other software. So for a software to use the functionality of another software, APIs of this software will be used by this particular software. Okay, developers of this particular software will use APIs of another software and integrate some functionality of this software in this software. So things will be like, what are the different examples? I gave you a lot. With the help of ChatGPT, I was able to explain more also. Okay, lot of examples I gave. Then second one, second case study, second type of situation where APIs are required or useful in real time is reusing the application logic for creating different customized software. Reusing the application logic for creating different customized software. Example is Visual Studio. I'll take you to the website of Visual Studio. What I'm talking about will be clear soon for you. Okay, with examples I'll give you. Just go to the website of Visual Studio, guys. I'll explain what exactly is Visual Studio and how it is related to APIs and all. I'll tell you. Go to the official website of Visual Studio. In the Google search, when you search for Visual Studio, right, automatically you will get the website details of Visual Studio. Okay. Okay, here. Okay, so download Visual Studio is there. Click on download Visual Studio on the home page of the Visual Studio. Okay, so what is there when I try to download here? Okay, a lot of things are coming. So this is not the page I was expecting. Okay, downloads. I'll go to the downloads. Yeah, this downloads is good. So that was another download. Okay, that's okay, guys. So when you go to the official website of Visual Studio, okay, Just click on the visualstudio.microsoft.com. Okay. Which company owns Visual Studio? Microsoft company. Okay. Whatever the company which is which is owning our Windows operating system is opening the Visual Studio editor, which is one of the advanced editors in the market, like Eclipse editor, IntelliJ editor. Visual Studios have a lot of editors. It's known for many editors, and its owner of the editor is Microsoft company, guys. And here you can clearly see there is a option like downloads option, guys. Okay, there's an option like downloads option. Click on the downloads option and you'll be taken here. If you want to download Visual Studio, how to download it? Before downloading, guys, what are the different you know different types of Visual Studio software that is there in the market? You can see on the screen and type in the chat box, guys. What are the different variations here? Don't worry about Visual Studio Code. Don't worry about Visual Studio Code, Nigora. Let's worry about only Visual Studio. Our intention is about, understanding the APIs and all, okay? How the APIs are being used. Here, how many types of Visual Studio variations are there here? You can either download the community edition, editions, multiple, three editions are there. One is community edition, other one is a professional edition, other one is a enterprise edition. Assume that, okay? In that community edition is completely free, guys. You don't have to pay for any license amount here, okay? And professional edition and enterprise edition are not free. Free trial means, is it free? If they are saying free trial, is it free? Tell me. If someone is saying free trial means, is it free? No. For some days it is free. After that you have to pay the license. You have to purchase the license, then only it will be, you can use them. But for trial purpose, to experience, to give you the experience, these companies are providing it for free for a while. That is called as free trial. And let's ignore the community for a while, okay? So to make our understanding easy, let's focus on professional and enterprise. Imagine which one has more functionality. Professional will have more functionality or enterprise will have more functionality when compared. What do you think? Enterprise, right? Definitely. Okay. Professional cannot be used for developing some scalable end-to-end solutions for teams of any size. Bigger size application cannot be developed using professionals. If you want to use the editor, Visual Studio editor for developing the applications and all, for all purposes, enterprise is good. Okay. If you want to build some scalable applications and all, right, then you can use Visual Studio Enterprise. But not all applications may need enterprise kind of editor. Professional may be enough for most of the applications because they may not be that much complex applications. So professional is a common kind of thing, okay, general kind of editor that people can use. Until and unless it is required, people will not go for enterprise, basically, right? So which one will have more features? Professional or enterprise means your answer will be definitely enterprise. Now, developers of this Visual Studio have developed the professional. Assume that they have developed the professional edition of the Visual Studio. They have developed already. Tomorrow they want to develop the enterprise. Do you have to start from scratch again? So assume that developers of the Visual Studio have already developed the professional edition. Okay. They have spent a lot of months, years of time to develop this professional edition of the Visual Studio. Again, they wanted to, once they are done with this, they wanted to start developing enterprise edition. Do they have to start from scratch? No, right? What they can use, whatever the code they have used for writing, for developing the professional edition, they can reuse in enterprise, right? Some extra functionalities are needed. It doesn't mean that again the same functionalities have to build from scratch. It's a blind, it's a kind of, dumb idea, right? So developers of the enterprise edition will reuse the code that is written by the developers of professional again in the enterprise, and whatever the extra features are required, they'll code it additionally, right? That's what is the best approach or smart approach. So here also, how the code written for developing the professional edition can be used by enterprise in a easiest manner is by creating the APIs for whatever the code that is used for developing the professional edition, and that code can be used in the form of APIs in the enterprise edition. Clear, everyone? Able to understand how the API can be used here? To develop an advanced kind of software, already one basic software is created. For this basic software code, some APIs will be created, and the APIs will be reused in this kind of software development so that developers can reuse them and only create the code for whatever the additional features that is required. They don't have to start from scratch. This is another area where APIs are required in real time. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Reusing the application logic for creating different customized software. Tomorrow, if the developers of the Visual Studio want to have one other type of application, okay, another professional enterprise and some student they want to create. They don't have to start from scratch. Already the APIs created for a professional is already there. Okay, APIs will be reused here, and the time taken for building such kind of new software, new type of edition of the Visual Studio Code will be kind of easy. Okay, will be faster because of the APIs. Okay, so this is what is the power of the APIs, guys. This is what is the power of the APIs. How they will be used and why they are required in real time. Okay, different answers you need to understand. Okay. Visual Studio is one of the example, guys. Visual Studio is one of the example. Again, let's go to ChatGPT. APIs can be used for building different customized software. Okay. Same company can build multiple editions. Okay. Editions like student, enterprise, okay, professional, etc. with the help of APIs. Give some explanation on this and also give some real world examples of some software which are using APIs for building their multiple customized software in the market. Done. Okay. So APIs are a powerful way for companies to create customized software editions like student, professional, enterprise versions by engaging modularity, flexibility, and integration with other systems. Okay. Okay, don't worry about those things. Okay. Microsoft Office. One of the example that is coming here is Microsoft Office editions, Office for students, home, professional, enterprise. Okay. Use of APIs. Microsoft Graph API provides access to MS Office 365 services like calendar and all. You see, APIs of another software are being used by another software from the same Microsoft company. You see, because of one software is exposing the APIs of exposing its code in the form of APIs, now those APIs can be used by any product of this particular Microsoft company. You see, Microsoft Graph is one software, Office 365 is another software. Since Office 365 of this same company is exporting the APIs, Microsoft company's another software known as Graph is using the APIs of the Office 365, to display the calendar, email, and all those stuff. Okay. Similarly, Zoom. Different editions of Zoom are there. Free edition is there, Pro edition is there, Business edition is there, Enterprise edition is there. Zoom APIs allows developer to integrate meetings, webinar, user management into custom workflows, and they will mix together and experiment with how to give different editions or you know editions or payment plans for different users and all. Okay. Salesforce. Salesforce have this kind of editions. Salesforce exposes a vast set of REST and SOAP APIs. Don't worry about what is REST, what is SOAP. Everything will be clear for you guys. I'm going to cover each and every topic in depth in these sessions. Okay. You're going to learn a lot about APIs. Don't worry. Okay. So this is not the right time for me to explain what is REST and SOAP. Okay. Time will come when I'm going to explain that in detail. Enterprises can use them to deeply integrate CRM data into the ERP systems. Okay. While basic editions have limited API access. Okay. Depending on the kind of, and Slack, free, pro, business plus enterprise kit is there. Slack provides APIs for bot integration, message automation work. You see, it's kind of depth. Okay. Let me ask. Okay. Give some general and easy examples. Okay. Let's see. Student edition. You see here, student edition. Someone is using Zoom software. 40 minutes of time will be given student edition. Okay. No cloud recording will be there. Enterprise edition, unlimited meeting time, cloud recording, and how this, you see, reusing this ABS to create the enterprise edition is being done by Zoom. Coursera, student edition, access to course using a simple login API, can watch videos and take quizzes. Professional editions, APIs allows tracking of skill development and generating certificates. Connects to LinkedIn via APIs to show achievements and all. Okay. Extra things are coming here. Enterprise, Okay, so enterprise edition, HR systems integrate via API to track employee learning. Advanced, okay, e-commerce platforms like Shopify, small seller edition will be there, business edition will be there. You see, these are some examples of the softwares or companies which are building the software, which are building multiple products in their basket. How they are doing? They are not rebuilding everything from scratch. They are using the APIs of one thing somewhere else. And these two things may be here, okay, to provide some additional features without working from scratch. You see, Adobe Photoshop is maybe another good example, guys. There is a basic variation of version of Photoshop. Okay, basic editing tools will be there, and all. When you go for professional, right, some advanced features will be there, which are not there in the present in student edition. But the APIs of the student edition will be used in building the professional edition. Okay, again, when you go for enterprise edition, lot more features will be there, which are not there in the student and professional. But this APIs of the student and professional can be used in building the enterprise edition. That's how the world runs. Okay. You see, APIs help create different flavors of the same software, okay, at different price levels, different feature levels, okay. That's what is the power of the APIs, guys. Okay, a lot of examples you can do R&D and all, okay. You can do R&D and all. I got one question here. Can we also say Windows OS? I even don't know. Let's see. Well, let's ask, okay. I cannot go and say that, it depends on the company to company to decide like whether they want to build everything from scratch or they want to use some APIs, okay. Is Windows OS reusing APIs of previous versions or editions in building latest OS or more editions? Okay, let's ask the question to ChatGPT. Yes, yes, Windows OS absolutely reuses APIs from previous versions and editions when building new versions or more customized editions. This is a core part of Microsoft design philosophy, maintaining backward compatibility through consistency and evolving APIs. Okay. So everywhere APIs are there. Okay, we cannot see the APIs, but APIs are there internally for everything. Whenever you are working with a particular software, you can cross check yourself like is that particular software using API? Definitely it will use in some way or other way. The particular software will use the APIs. Okay. So it's the world is at your footstep. Like can use ChatGPT and do a lot of R&D by yourself, guys. Okay, but as a trainer, right, whatever I want to cover, I'll be focusing my prompts there. But R&D, research. Someone who is interested in very curious about learning a lot of things about the software, right? They can keep going with this ChatGPT prompts and understand a lot of other stuff. Okay. Now we are in the era of the chat gpt and all, okay. Generative AI kind of era where you don't have to depend on your work related knowledge or book related knowledge, okay. Everything is very dynamic now. Just go to chat gpt and enhance your skills. The more time you have, more the curiosity you have in learning new software. This is a bright place where you can spend your time and learn a lot of other stuff in very less time, okay. You see, yes, Windows reuses and extends previous APIs, okay. So they will enhance the APIs or they will reuse existing APIs whenever needed, okay, to create multiple editions and all. Many purposes will be there, okay. This can reduce the development cost, right? Again, if you build everything from scratch, that will be very costly. But if you are reusing the APIs of a previous version or edition, it will be kind of cheaper. Compatibility will be there and all, you don't have to worry much, okay. Yes, it's asking me one question. I'm saying yes. It's creating some image. It will take some time. That's okay. Since he's asking me, I'm just saying yes. Okay. Lots of people are using images. That's okay. Some free variations will be there. That's okay. We can processing images done. Meanwhile, we'll keep moving forward, guys. We'll not wait here. Hope everyone got enough a number of examples here. Got it right? Great. Now, what is another place where what is the use of APIs in real world? Okay. Reusing the application logic for different platforms. This is another case. You see, let's say there is a company, let's say Amazon. Everyone knows about Amazon, right? Amazon.com. What is this Amazon.com about? Tell me, guys, what is this Amazon.com about? It's an e-commerce application where people can buy and sell the products online. It's a marketplace where people can buy and sell products on online, right? That's what is Amazon is all about. What is this kind of platform it has? It's a web application, right? Amazon.com is a web application or desktop application or mobile application? Tell me. Which type of application Amazon.com is? Is it web application or mobile application? It is a web application. Whatever currently you are seeing Amazon.com is a web application. It is a web application is the answer. Now, is there a mobile application for this Amazon? If I ask you, is there a mobile application for Amazon? Okay, yes, right? Amazon, if you go to the Google Play Store, Google, Google Play Store, okay, Amazon application. If I search like this, what is coming? Yeah, apps on Google. Search here. Yeah, this is application, right? Okay, Amazon application is there. I cannot install on my, machine, but I can simply say add to wish list or something. Okay, this app is not available for any of your devices. Okay, this app is not available on any. But if you open this, if you go to your Android mobile and Google Play Store, if you go, or if you have iOS and iOS Store, you have, and you search for Amazon, you'll get this Amazon app. You can download and install the Amazon app, and how the Amazon app will look like. This is how it will look like. Okay. So in your mobile phone, it will be installed something like this, guys. Amazon app will be installed something like this, something like this kind of format. Now tell me, guys. Yes, tell me that. Let me give you an example here. Okay, developers of the Amazon company is Amazon only, right? Amazon is a company has built this Amazon.com e-commerce application. Okay, they have built this web application. The web application development and everything is ready. Whatever the code that is required for buying and selling the products online via the Amazon in different ways is already ready. Now Amazon has finally saw the feel like, a lot of people are starting using e-commerce applications on their mobile phones. They're People are placing some orders from Amazon.com, but a lot of people are use nowadays doesn't have the access to the laptop. You see, households and all, do they use any laptop, guys? Okay, housewives and the people who don't who are into the business, do they use laptops? No, right? Everyone is holding a small piece of device that is called as a mobile phone, smartphone, or tablets, etc. Okay, not everyone has a laptop, right? But most of the people will have the smartphones and smart devices like laptops and mobile devices are there, like laptops and iPads. Sorry, iPads and smartphones. Okay, or kind of, right? Tablets kind of stuff are there nowadays. Now, there also you can open Amazon.com, but the kind of view won't be good, and the more functionality they cannot use in mobile. A customized version of this Amazon website should be created as a software in the mobile phones in the form of mobile applications. Now assume that the developers of the Amazon.com have built this Amazon.com in a detailed manner, and each and every pinch of the code they have written. Tomorrow they want to build the mobile application. Do they have to build everything from scratch? Do they have to build everything from scratch, guys? No, not at all. What the Amazon developers can do is they can create some APIs for this. They may have already created some APIs. Okay, they will create the APIs for each and every functionality of this Amazon.com, and they will reuse the APIs in mobile application. Will it be a good idea to create the mobile application in a faster way? Yes or no? Will that be a good idea to create the mobile applications in a faster way? Yes, definitely. That happens in real time, guys. Okay. I have worked on such kind of projects. One of the projects I have worked on, the requirement was like that only. Okay. They already have a web application. Now, the company wants to, nowadays everyone is using smartphones. The company has decided to create a mobile application. So what the company has suggested is, instead of they developing everything from scratch for mobile application, they asked the developers of the web application to create the APIs, and by using the APIs, build this mobile application. By reusing this, so the time that will be taken for building an entire application, maybe 3 years, 4 years, that can be done in just 1 year or less than 1 year. Is that a good sign? Reusing the APIs of an existing application, web application, and creating the mobile application is a good idea. Yes, definitely, guys. Okay, that happens in real time. These are few case studies, guys. Okay, these are few case studies. Okay, so I'll ask. Okay, ChatGPT again. You see, uh, APIs for building Windows, APIs for modern Windows applications, APIs for component. Yeah, we don't need that one, that much of depth. Okay, that's okay. Every feature of the Windows operating system or Windows will have some kind of APIs. They are saying what are the different layers of APIs they have. Okay, that OS across versions they are showing here. This is like for in-depth R&D. You can use this, but I don't think we have to worry about this right now. This will be confusing for us. So ignore that. Okay. So I'll be asking the chat GPT as if I don't know the answer. Okay. So let's say there is an XYZ company which is having a website, and now the company wants to build the mobile application using the functionalities which are already built in the website. Not all functionalities, but the important and okay, important functionalities to be there in the mobile application. Okay. Can developers, okay, can the developers of mobile application can reuse the APIs? Can the developers of reuse the APIs of web application? Can the developers of mobile application can reuse the APIs of web application and build the mobile applications in a what I'm doing, getting a lot of spelling mistakes, in a faster way, faster way. Okay, that's fine, great. The answer will be yes. Yes, developers can absolutely reuse APIs of web application to build the mobile application, and this is a common and efficient practice. Okay, this is happening in real world. If XYZ company already has a website with backend APIs like REST and Graph, then the same APIs can be reused in the building while developing the mobile application to perform key functionalities like login authentication, all this stuff. Okay, all some examples also they are giving faster. This results in faster development, consistency. You see the features of web application and mobile application will not be different. They will be kind of similar. Okay, cost effective. They will be in sync actually. The features of the different applications will be, or different platforms will be in sync. Cost also, faster development and less amount of efforts need to be put in building the application, so cost effective automatically, and many other stuff. Scalability is also there and all. Okay. Real life examples are, if you have to give the examples in this kind of case, Amazon is one example, guys. Amazon mobile app uses the mobile application. Okay, developers of the Amazon application, Amazon company have used the same backend APIs of the website to handle the shopping cart orders and user accounts. Okay, so Uber mobile apps and web dashboard, okay, uses same core APIs. Netflix runs on your laptop, it runs in your mobile phone, it runs on your TV. Okay, it uses the common APIs across different platforms like television, mobile phone, different type tablets, and your laptop, etc., etc. Yes, the mobile app developers for XYZ company can and should reuse the existing web applications for important features. It makes developer development faster, cheaper, and more consistent. Okay, I think this is good. Everyone clear with this? Another case study, guys, where exactly the APIs will come into picture in real world is clear for you, guys. Everyone clear with this? I am explaining with my knowledge. At the same time, we are also taking the help of ChatGPT to enhance our knowledge also, to make the understanding more clear for you. This is how we have to learn these days, guys. Okay, we are in the era of generative AI where we have to. Earlier, I used to teach without using the ChatGPT, and now I am using ChatGPT to enhance my teaching levels. Okay, this is one of the additional thing that I felt as a trainer. Okay, instead of just sticking to whatever I know, what if I do some prompts in ChatGPT and deliver more explanation for you, to make to convince you more and to give more examples for you. This is the best way, right? Yeah. So hope everyone is able to understand. That's great. Okay. Next one. Okay. Next thing is client server communication. For client server communication, we need APIs. Yes or no? Apart from this, for client server communication, do we need APIs? In the first session, I drawn a diagram, right? In the first session, I have drawn a diagram. Okay. I'll go to the Telegram group and fetch that diagram for you. Okay. That I have used in the first session. In the first session, I have created a diagram. Okay. I'll take you to the Telegram group, and in the Telegram group, the diagram will be there. Let me find out that this is the best way to find the diagrams and all. Okay. Yeah, this is the diagram I was using at the time. And if required, I can download also and open if required. Sorry. Okay, this is the diagram, guys. Sorry. This is the diagram. Hope you can see. Client and server communication. Now it is happening with the help of APIs only. Okay. Client is communicating with the server machine with the help of APIs. This is my laptop. This is the place where my website, this qfox.com code is available. And if I hit the URL here, a request is being sent to the server and server is processing the request and giving a response back. All these concepts are already covered in the previous session. Okay. But here, what are being used for the client to help the client in communicating with the server? APIs, API request and responses. Okay. Okay. Don't worry about the transportation means and all. So APIs are also useful in client server communication. Okay. APIs are also, these are some case studies, but cases where APIs will be used. At the same time, for the client to communicate with the server and all, to send the request and get the responses back, APIs are required. Okay. Already you know the examples of this, right? I already have covered in the previous session itself. Tutorials Ninja website or kfox.com website. When you browse the website page of the application, a request will be sent to the server. Server will process the request and process request. After the request got processed in the server side, a response will be sent in the form of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, tokens, cookies, etc., and the client machine will, the browser in the client machine will be able to understand that, use that HTML, CSS, JavaScript, tokens, and everything to get the things done. Okay, to display the browser web page. Even similar with the login page, tutorials in the login functionality also. When you enter the email address and password into the login functionality of the application that I already have explained in the previous session, guys, a request will be sent to the server along with a given email address and password, and the server will process the request and the server will generate another SQL request for the database in the RDBMS software, and from the table it will fetch the data, and once a record is identified as account is already there, a token will be created in the while processing that request by the server machine, and server will send a response back, and then you will be able to log in the client side. Okay. So this is all happening because of the client server communication, guys. Okay, in this examples whatever I am giving is happening because of the client server communication. Okay, don't worry about this part. Okay, so I'll explain that later. Web service I'll cover here. Don't worry about the web service here. There is a very depth topic here, so ignore this part. Only focus on this API example in terms of client server communication is when you hit the URL here, when you hit the URL here, how this, when you hit the URL here, how you are getting this web page. When you hit the URL, a request is being to central server machine. The code in the server machine is getting run, and it's to process the request. And as part of the running of the resultant of the code, a response will be created, and the browser will get that response. And in the response, HTML, CS, JavaScript, and a lot of other things will be there. Based on that, this web page will be displayed on your browser, because you don't have the code for this application in your into your computer machine, right? Okay, but how this web page is coming? The code is hosted in a server and client server communication. For the client server communication to happen, APIs are required. I'm saying similarly, if you go to another functionality of this application, login functionality here, when you enter the email address and when you enter the password here, the moment you click on the login button, a request will be sent to the server and response will come back. Okay, with the token and all. If a valid token will come, you'll be able to log in here. Okay, that's what is happening behind the scenes. Okay, along with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and all, you are also getting a token in this time. What are the other things we have? Register. Okay, when you're creating an account. When you are creating an account also, uh, API requests are required for communicating between the client and server. Okay, here when you are trying to create an account with the first name, last name, email address, some email address, some telephone number, some password, some confirm password, newsletter option, privacy policy. And the moment you click on the continue button, what will happen? API request from the client machine will be sent to the server machine. Along with the client request, all these details will be sent. When this API request will hit the server, server will run some appropriate code. That code will take all these details that were received by the server machine from the client side via the API, and it will process this data, and it will hit the database, and where insert data into the table users table where, okay, first name is Arun, last name is all these things. A query will be run on the database in one of the table of the database, and a record will be created. If all this information is good, a record will be created in the database table. And once that record is created, a database will give you a positive response to the server machine, and server machine will get a process, complete processing the request, and then send a response back to the client machine, and you'll get logged in, and account will get created, and all the stuff. Okay, that will happen. This is how the APIs will. Another purpose of the APIs is to for client server communication, guys. Okay, these are first three purposes, and fourth purpose is client server communication is also APIs are required. APIs are useful for multiple purposes. Okay, and real world everywhere the APIs are there. Okay, so you have to understand the clear picture of why APIs are required in real world. Okay, what are the different cases where APIs are required, why APIs are need to be developed by the developers. You need to understand that these are the several things that you can explain in the interviews. When someone asks you about APIs, explain API means, you should not stop there. Okay, API means application programming interface and all. You should not stop there. Okay, keep explaining whatever you know. Okay, so that they don't have to ask even the second question. The more you explain, the more they will get convinced. Okay, that's okay. Okay, we have to prove our knowledge in wherever possible. Okay, simple. Yeah, so these are the some examples I gave. Even Amazon is also using APIs, guys. I want to show you the example of the Amazon website. Okay, if I go to amazon.com, guys. Okay, I'll show you how you can see the APIs of amazon.com here. Okay, so right click here and select inspect option, guys. When you go to when you select the inspect option, go to the network tab. Okay, and clear all this stuff. You see, when even I clear, right, a lot of other things are still coming, guys. That's okay. When I keep clearing also, a lot of things are coming. You see why they are coming. For each and every small activity in this Amazon website, something is happening. You see the moment you see this slider is going on, some APIs are being run. Okay, for small things also. You see, when I click now here, I'll search for a laptop. Okay, laptop stand or something. You see, the moment I type something, right, laptop stand, and a lot of APIs were triggered here. Okay, without my notice, right? Laptop stand for, I'll say, for desk, adjustable. For each and every keyword I am typing here, an API request is being sent. A lot of APIs are being run, guys. Okay, for small things. You see, a laptop stand for, okay. You see a different type of APIs. Different types APIs. Laptop stand for desktop. Okay, something has been typed. Okay, so more APIs are for each and every small thing. An API, separate APIs are being run for every small activity you do here on this page, right? APIs will be running, guys. Okay, so it is a very complex application. For small things also APIs will be there. Okay, so for small things, even while searching also, for each and every word while searching also, APIs are being run to give the results and all. Okay, to get this auto suggestion messages also, APIs are there. Okay, when I say laptop, right? When I say laptop, lot of these keywords are coming: laptop, laptop stand, laptop computer, laptop bag, laptop. For these things to come here, APIs are required. Okay, how these options are coming? With the help of APIs only. Okay, when I type laptop here, laptop is coming, laptop stand is coming, computer is coming back. How this all these options are coming? With the help of APIs. Okay, for this, auto suggestions also, APIs are required. For every small thing on the application, right, APIs are required. When you click on Amazon, APIs are required. When you select some option, APIs are required. Okay, for everything there will be an API, guys. Okay, when you even click on search button, there will be an API. Okay, how to check that? Go here and select here electronics. Okay, then again select health or something. Okay, some kind of API will be selected. I cannot explain that great. Okay, but you can clearly see. Okay, a lot of other things will be there. Okay, so laptop, just clear that, and deals. I don't know whether I can get those things, but I'll try my level best. Clear, and then say home and kitchen. Mm, okay, here, uh, any item from home. Okay, uh, I'll just clear this. I'll just clear this and say stove. Stove. Okay, API request will be done for that stove also. Kitchen. I cannot use it. Stove is there. Keyword stove. Okay, a request has been sent to the server. Okay, and response will come back here. Response, this kind of response came because of the response only. You are seeing a lot of stub options here. Okay, a lot of stub options are coming because of the response. You see, this Amazon application is also APIs for communicating with the client and server. Okay, this, you see, this my application. So I'm taking Amazon. So if you want to see what type of APIs are being triggered in complex applications, right, go with Amazon and figure it out. Okay, and try to learn a lot of APIs and all. Okay, that's great. Okay, that's one thing. For client server communication also APIs are required. For using the functionality of another software in our software, APIs are required. These are the examples. For using the application logic for creating different customized software, same company for different type of customized software they have built, APIs will be useful. Okay. Uh, Reusing the application logic for building different applications on different platforms. Like if they already have a web application, they want to build tomorrow mobile application, they can reuse this in the form of APIs. Okay, that's another way. Client to communicate with the server machine, APIs are required. Clear, everyone? So far, everyone is clear. Everyone clear with this real need of developing the APIs in real time is clear for everyone. Why the developers have to build the APIs? Four examples I gave, four case studies I gave you, why APIs are required in real world. Okay. So our learning should be in sync with whatever that is really needed by the developers in the real world, right? We have to first understand before learning about API testing and all, why first of all in case APIs are required, why developers have to build APIs, okay, while developing software in real time. Okay, let's see several essential reasons. Okay, communicating between components also APIs are required. Okay, you see, it's not about client server communication. One more, you see, whatever I covered here is already covered. Four cases I covered. Is there any other case? Okay, we can, you see, knowledge is endless, right? These are the four items I covered. Are there any other things why developers will build the APIs? I wanted to find it out. I just posted that in the ChatGPT, and one of the things that I got is communicating between components. For making the communication happen between the components of the software, APIs are required. Modern software systems are often divided into separate components. Front end, back end, already covered about the front end and back end, right? That is client server communication, okay? For front end and back end to be communicated, we need APIs. Okay, databases for the front end to communicate with you know business layer to communicate with the database layer. All these layers will use APIs. Okay, allows these parts to communicate reliably and consistently. A front end app like a mobile or web application requests data from the back end via an API. Okay, you see, a front end app will get the data from the backend via the API by running the code and by running some queries on the database and all. For that, APIs are required, guys. For that communication between the front end, back end, okay, different layers of the application, APIs are required. Okay, separation of concerns. API self modular design. The logic for processing data is handled on the server, while the client focuses on display and user interactions. Okay, that's okay. Separation of the concerns. Okay, that's okay. Reusability. Yeah, this is already covered, right? Reusability is already covered. Once you create a web application, if you want to build some mobile application or some other type of the application, reusability, or if you want to create multiple editions of the same software from the same company, then also reusability of the APIs is another purpose. I'll explain about microservices later. Don't worry about the microservices. Okay, there is a concept known as microservices, which I'll be covering in upcoming sessions. Okay, there's some architectures and all which I'm going to cover. There's a topic for this microservice architecture in the future sessions. I'll be covering that. Let's not dig deep into that detailed ones for now. So why microservices? What is required? Anyhow, you'll understand the purpose of the APIs there. Okay, real-time data access. Okay, integration with some third-party service. That's okay. A web application using different payment gateways and all. Okay, so security and access controls. Okay, so I'll be giving it some examples. I'll be teaching it. These are something. Do you have anything else like kind of stuff? So to get a proper answer, I didn't get a proper answer still, but I want to give a proper answer. Okay. Uh, per my knowledge, APIs are developed for this several purposes I know. Okay. That is one case where a software want to use the functionality of another software. Okay. Then APIs of another software will be used by the software. Okay. Which want to display the functionalities of another software. Okay, I just gave something, whatever I know. Next thing is uh, another case, where a software, another case where a want to, software company want to build multiple customized software of the product they have built. For this, they will reuse the APIs. Okay. Another case where an application is built for web application for web, and now the company want to build the same application uh, for accessing via mobile app. Then web app related APIs can be used for building mobile app. Okay, this is another case study. Uh, another case, where client wants to communicate with the server. For that, APIs will be used. Can you give more such examples of real world where API is useful, or why developers generally build APIs in real world? Okay. Is absolutely right in your understanding. These are spot on examples of real world APIs use cases. Let me expand on your list. Additional practical scenarios that illustrate why APIs are essential in software development. Integration between internal teams. When different teams, that is billing, user management, analytics, are working on different parts of a system. Okay. You see, in the same application, different functionalities. Okay. Let's say there is a software. The software has one functionality related to, or one module related to, or one functionality related to user management, some functionality related to billing system, some functionalities about analytics. Now, these three functionalities need to communicate with each other because they have to work together to get the outcome, right? So how they will communicate, all these three modules, how they communicate with each other? By the APIs. Okay. The analytics means all the how many users have joined, signed up, how many users are using the application on a ongoing basis. If they want to find out analytics functionality of this application, have to use the APIs of the user management functionality to get the analytical data related to the users. Okay, so that it displays the required details of the analytics on the dashboard. Okay, so this is where integration between different modules. Okay, when different developers of the application are working on different functionalities and they internally want to use functionalities of another things to get the things done together as a combination of multiple modules, they want to give an output, then APIs are required for communicating between the different functionalities. That is one way. Partner or public API exposure. Okay, So Twitter provides APIs so developers can build bots or analytical tools. Stripe offers APIs for third party. You see, Stripe is actually providing the APIs as a, to use it as a payment gateway so that different e-commerce companies can use APIs of the Stripe, which is publicly available to, integrate them and use it as a Stripe as a payment gateway when required. Google Maps API is used by thousands of websites and apps to embed maps. Okay. Like that. To partner or use public APIs are required. Okay. So some companies will expose the, you see, Google Maps is a Google company is creating this Maps product, and it's openly publicly sharing the API of the Google Maps so that any type of the company can use this, any type of the software can use this Google Maps for their purpose. In your car, the Google Maps are there. The car, the maps are there nowadays. In your mobile phone, maps are there. Okay. Uber kind of cab system is using maps and all. Okay. Different. Okay. These are public. Another reason. Okay, it's kind of very deep. That's okay. I'll explain about microservice and service-oriented architecture for small things and all. Why microservices are required, how the different architectures are there in APIs. I'll cover that later, guys. This one you leave it for now. This is something that I have to cover in depth. Okay. Third-party authentication. Already we have seen the Google authentication, right? Okay. You can sign into Jira with the help of Google authentication or something. Okay. For that, okay. Data synchronization between platforms. You see, APIs are used to sync data between systems or databases that may be on different platforms or in different organizations. Okay. Uh, okay. CRM system like Salesforce integrating will be to sync contacts. That's okay. Then headless CMS and different platforms here are using that. Headless CMS and e-commerce. That's okay. Real-time features. Okay. These are some examples I'm getting, but clear-cut answers I'm not getting, guys. If any particular company is exposing their APIs, openly, that is called as public APIs. Ramu. Public APIs means what? Google Maps is giving the APIs of the Google Maps in a public way, right? Those are public APIs. Now we'll find out, okay? We'll find out more about public APIs, don't worry. Okay, something that I would like to say, apart from whatever the cases we have seen, the important thing, apart from this 1, 2, 3 and client-server communication, the fourth one is, if you are building a single software, in that single software, multiple functionalities will be there. This internal functionalities also will communicate. One functionality will be communicating with another functionality by the APIs only. That is the fifth case I would like to say. Got it? Apart from this four, the major one I can say is, if someone is building a functionality, in that the login functionality, the register functionality may be integrated with the login functionality, or as they said, right, analytical functionality is integrated, is using the APIs of user data functionality. Okay. So modules of the same software are communicating with each other in the form of APIs. Okay. Can you give some simple example of a software where its one functionality is communicating with other functionality of the same software via APIs? E-commerce application, product catalog, shopping carts, user profile, order processing, payment gateway. Okay. When a user adds a product to the cart, shopping cart service doesn't store product details itself, right? Shopping cart code will not store the product details itself. Instead, it calls the product catalog API to get the product information like name, price, stock, etc. like this. Okay. In the shopping cart, we are adding the product, right? For example, here, if you go to this application, and here, when you search for HP here and click on add to cart, okay, these are the details of the product, like, name of the product, price of the product, and all those stuff. If you add it to the cart, if you go to the shopping cart, here also product details are coming, like, name of the product, price of the product, everything is coming. How it is coming? Shopping cart is using the APIs of the product details, product catalog details. Okay. Shopping cart functionality of this application using the APIs of this product catalog APIs to display the details of the product on the shopping cart website. That's what they are saying. User clicks add to cart for product ID 123. The shopping cart calls get API products 1, 2, 3 to fetch the product details, and product catalog API returns all the details like what is the price of the product and all. And these details will be displayed on the shopping cart, saves this information in the user session or cart. Okay. So this is how the details of the product are being displayed on the shopping cart functionality of the application. Why use an API instead of direct access? Even though it is a small same software, APIs are used because each module is self-sustained modular design. Okay. For making this modular design possible, softwares are using, okay, softwares are using instead of mixing up all the code together and making it clumsy. If you create the APIs and use the APIs of another module in another module code, what happens, it will become more modular design will happen. Developers will be able to use it efficiently, okay, without confusing. Instead of calling the functions of the code for one functionality, another functionality, calling them and all, making the things very messy and all, you can create the APIs for one of the functionality like product catalog functionality, and use that APIs of the product catalog API in the shopping cart functionality. Okay, that actually promotes modular design approach for the developers, and which will make the job of the or work of the developers kind of easy. Okay, more modularized. Why we have to make it modular? If you go to a house and you have a lot of shelves and all, if you organize your books in different shelves, what is the advantage you'll get? Here also, you are putting the code into different baskets and different shelves, and for each and every code to expose the code to another code of another functionality, you are simply enabling the APIs for that code. Okay, and you are using the APIs of one function modular code in another modular code. Okay, that's what is a modular design pattern. It enforces clear boundaries and reusability. Okay, multiple cards can call the same API. More examples, please. More examples. More such examples. Okay, let's more such examples. Hospital management system, patient management system, appointment scheduling and billing. When a doctor books an appointment, the appointment scheduling service calls a patient management API to fetch patient details. To schedule an appointment, the appointment software functionality of the same software. Okay, there is a hospital management software used by one of the hospital. Okay, while scheduling an appointment for a particular patient, this appointment functionality of the software doesn't have the details of the patient. To get the details, to fetch the details, the appointment scheduling functionality need to call the APIs of the patient management and get the details of the patient, so that appointment will be scheduled for this particular patient. This is another module. This is another functionality or module. To make it modular design and all, APIs are required. Okay. So the main thing here is modular design, guys. Okay. The functionalities of the same software will internally use APIs for communication purpose. For supporting the modular design is something you need to understand. Course content, user progress tracking, and course content modules call the progress tracking API to update their progress. Okay. Banking applications, user account management, transaction processing, and notification service. Okay. When transactions are done, notifications will come, right? After a successful fund transfer, transaction module calls a notification API to send SMS. Transaction module will not directly give you notification. Okay. Once a particular transaction is done, this transaction module functionality code will call the APIs of the notification functionality. It will call the API so that actual SMS and emails will be sent to your mail address or your mobile number. Okay. So like that, many examples are there, guys. Okay. Payroll module, leave management API. Okay. So internally also the functionality of the same application will be interacting with each other via the APIs. Okay. For promoting the modular design. Okay. To promote the modular design, which is an efficient way of developing the software and all. So a lot of examples are there. Okay. While you are booking a cab like Uber, driver matching API will be there, trip management, fare calculation will be there. Okay. A lot of APIs will work together to make the things possible. Yes, correct. Integration of different modules through APIs to promote which kind of design, to promote this is being done in real world. One module using the APIs of another module in the same software. Why it's being done? Within the same software, right? Why APIs are required? To promote what? To promote which design? Anyone can answer that? Just now I explained, right? Yes, modularity design. Okay, modular design to promote the modular design. Within the same software also, different functionalities are communicating with each other to promote the modular design. That's what is the purpose. You see, we know that a software can use a APIs of another software. That is one of the way, one of the reason why APIs are required. They are different softwares. So our software is using the APIs of another software. But now the case has come where your own software is there. In your own software, one of your module is using a APIs of another module. Why means to support the modular design. Okay, that should be your answer. This is the real knowledge, guys. You have to acquire. Okay, this is the real knowledge you have to acquire. Why it is required in real world. Okay, so top five. If someone say what are the top five reasons for developing the APIs, means give this 1, 2, 3, 4 and modular design. Okay, for promoting the model design within the same software, different modules of the same software will communicate with another module of the same software via the APIs. Okay, to support the modular design. Okay, that's what you have to understand. Now let's get back. Ramu is asking me about the public APIs, right? Let's ask this ChatGPT. Give examples of okay, some companies which are providing public APIs. Give well-known ones. Google. Okay. What is a kind of example? Google Maps is providing public APIs. Gmail API. You can integrate Gmail in another applications and all. Okay. If required. Google Calendar. You can use Google Calendar integration, Google Drive API. Okay. Twitter. Twitter is also providing a public API. So this Twitter can be integrated into another application so that tweets can be done easily from another website. Okay. Meta. Graph API, Facebook, Instagram API. Stripe. Okay, Stripe is providing public API so that a different e-commerce application can integrate the Stripe APIs for making the payments and all. Shopify is also giving the storefront API and admin API so that e-commerce which are built, e-commerce applications which are being built can use the APIs of this Shopify to get the things done. Okay, OpenAI, ChatGPT is also doing that, guys. Okay, Microsoft, Azure APIs and all. Okay, Spotify, Web API is also public API. Okay, so Amazon Web Services APIs, many are there, guys. Many are there. Okay, so take the Google Maps example for public APIs and give me more details with examples to understand and its need of making the APIs of maps public. Okay. Google Maps is a classic and widely used example of why public APIs are essential. Let's walk through this in depth so you understand both the need and real world usage of making Google Maps APIs public. Okay. Why Google made Maps APIs public? Google Maps APIs allows developer outside of Google to embed and interact with maps in their own applications or website. Okay. Instead of only offering maps on maps.google.com, developers can use it in millions of apps and websites like Uber. Uber is one company. Google is another company, Uber is another company. But Uber don't have to rebuild the maps again, right? Rather, Uber will use this public APIs provided by Google Maps and then integrate within the Uber so that they can use for the cab drivers of the Uber can use it for navigation purposes. Airbnb to locate the properties. Okay, properties where Airbnb properties are available. Okay, Airbnb is also using. Everyone know about Airbnb, right? Okay, it's a Airbnb is where you can find the houses and all. Okay, you can find houses and all these things for if you want to stay here at this location, if you love this location and if you want to stay there. Okay, popular ones. Okay, if you want to stay here, let's say if you want to stay at this location, you can directly book this cottage with Airbnb. Okay, like this. Okay, so in this somewhere Google Maps may be there. Okay, so somewhere here about this place and all, show more, anywhere maps is there, you'll be here. You see maybe Airbnb may be using this Google Maps APIs. Okay, right, that is the purpose. Since the Google Maps API is public, Airbnb don't have to build another navigation system like this Google Maps. So to increase the reach, what the Google Maps Google company is doing, to enable everyone to use Maps. What the Google company is using, Google company has made this Google Maps kind of public, so that all the companies will try to find a kind of software whose APIs are publicly available and is also best in the market. So everyone will try to pick Google Maps and integrate in their websites. They don't have to spend a lot of development efforts, right? Airbnb don't have to spend a lot of efforts in, integrating the maps and, I mean, building the maps again. Okay, that is a very big process. So similar thing here. Okay. Now, Google will not provide anything for free, guys. Do you think Google will provide everything for free? Though we guys are using Google Maps for free in our real world, but do you think Google is providing everything for free? They have a free tier. Okay, till some extent, Google Maps will be free, but for large scale applications and all, where big companies will be there and they really die for using the Google Maps to a different extent, then they start charging those companies, guys. Okay, even I'm using Google Drive. Google Drive may be free for a lot of people, but my case, I want 2 TB of space, cloud space I want. I don't want to save everything in my computer machine because a lot of recordings will be there, a lot of batches I take. I want to share a lot of recordings with everyone. To run my business, what I need, 15 GB is not enough. I just, not go, I'll go behind the free trial and take the premium plan from Google company, like Google Drive, different plans are there. I pay $650 per month. Okay. So they'll give me the 2 TB per month. Okay. 2 TB will be there. Okay. If I stop paying, all the 2 TB will be gone. So such kind of monetization mechanisms are there. Google Maps may look like it's completely free, but it's not really free, right? At some point of time, they want to get into the market and they want enable everyone to use Google Maps. At some point of the time, they'll charge the customers some amount. Okay. After the free tier is over, they'll charge the amount. Okay. So this is how the business will run. Fine. A lot of things will be there, guys. If you keep exploring, a lot of things will come about APIs. Okay. So today it was a very detailed session on APIs and all. Okay. So hope you are learning a lot of stuff about APIs. Okay. To in very depth. So is that clear now? Rama, is that clear? What is public API and all? How you have to understand and all? Okay. Ramu, is that clear? Public API details are that clear for you, Ramu? For now? Yeah. So there is something known as partner APIs also. What is the difference between? What is if you are able to understand the public API, what is the difference between public APIs and partner APIs? If the APIs are openly available to any developer on the internet, for everyone in the market, if it is available, that is called as public APIs. Okay. Anyone around the globe, any website, any company around the globe want to use the APIs of the Google Maps, they can use it. Okay. And once the free tier is over, they will use paid version also. But partner APIs are not for everyone, only for trusted partners. For example, Indigo company will not expose its API for every company. Only Make My Trip company it is exposing, or some other travel websites are there similar to Make My Trips. Many things came into the market, right? Skyscanner is there. Anyone know about Skyscanner? Anyone know about the Skyscanner? Have you used anyone use Skyscanner? Yes, right? You see, I generally use Skyscanner in incognito mode. Whenever I'm booking flight, right, I'll not go with Make My Trip norm directly. I'll just go for Skyscanner. Okay. Then search for flights here. Search for the flights here so that I'll be getting for cheap. Okay. So I want to go from Hyderabad to Bengaluru, let's say, on which date? Let's say I would like to go on, Monday, that is 5th, and search here and economy and adults and apply and search here the best fares, it will scan all the flights for me, similar to Make My Trip. It will also search uh, for me, and Skyscanner is one kind of company which will give you price with less charges. I'll not even open the Skyscanner in normal mode. I'll be opening in incognito mode because the once they knows that, once this company knows that I am using, I'm trying to find a flight from this particular thing from this place to this place. Second time when I come, they will increase the fares for me. Okay. They'll not show the real fares based on their understanding, my psychology, and they will get it. And, they will try to show me some bad numbers. Okay. Very big numbers. Okay. That's the problem. So I have to take time and, and use different websites to find cheaper flights. Okay, with the same flight but with a cheaper price. Okay, I need to find. Okay, so one of the website that I generally use for finding the best flights is Skyscanner. Yes, Skyscanner is also a partner. Okay, partner APIs. They are not public APIs. Indigo company is there. Indigo website company is sharing the APIs of this Indigo to Make My Trip and also to Skyscanner and several different partner API, smart partner websites. Okay, in that case, if the APIs of the Indigo company are not open, then that APIs are called as partner APIs. Okay, to limited partners, they are sharing the APIs. Trusted partners and selected partners, if they are sharing the APIs, that is called as partner APIs. Public means completely open, doesn't matter which company and all. Anyone can use them. Okay, partner means only few people who are trusted partners. Agreements are made between the companies. Such companies can only use the API. Such kind of APIs are called as partner APIs. Clear, everyone? The difference between public and partner APIs is clear for everyone. Is that clear? Just type C in the chat box, guys. You're learning a lot, I think so, today. A lot of R&D is being done. Research is being done before you, just before you. With whatever the knowledge I have, I'm trying to enhance and, give you more knowledge so that you'll get a kind of curious and kind of feel like to learn more about API in the coming days also from my sessions. Okay. So a lot of things are there regarding the APIs. API learning is an endless journey. Anything you take is an endless journey. Okay. Another important topic I would like to cover as part of this is, okay, why you want to know more about the API testing job market, Karthik? API testing is nowadays mandatory, Karthik. Okay, don't worry about the job market and all. Okay, without that you cannot survive in the industry. That I can see. Got it? Like manual testing is important. Like automation testing nowadays is important. API testing is also important. Okay, gone are the days where without API knowledge, you can survive. Survive first. These are the basic survival skills. Okay, manuals, Selenium, Java automation, API testing. All these are basic survival skills nowadays. Okay, people are expecting more than APIs nowadays. Okay, so don't worry about the market and all. Don't even ask anyone about what is the market for this. Okay, it's compulsory nowadays. Okay, there is no market question should not come from you before you go for a lot of other things in the market and all. Okay, which you want to know and all, you don't even have to ask. Okay, APIs are mandatory nowadays in the market. Got it, Karthik? Clear? Great. Don't skip the APIs are compulsory. Okay, it's not just optional thing. No more optional. Manual testing is also not optional. Okay, don't worry about the market. Whether market is there or not, you have to learn manual testing, manual way of software testing, you have to learn. Then if market is there or not, you still have to learn automation testing using Selenium Java. Whether you are using Selenium or Playwright or something, doesn't matter, but you have to use that, right? Right? Similarly, API testing also compulsory only. Okay. It's in the compulsory list. API testing is in compulsory list. Don't worry about whether you'll get a job, market is there or not, doesn't matter. Basic ABCD is there, like to get in entering into the job. No matter how many things you know, if you don't know API testing, you are gone. That's what I can say. Okay. Fine. Now, yeah. Next thing that I'm going to cover about the APIs is APIs and web services. What is the next thing that I'm going to cover, guys? APIs versus web services. APIs, other side is what? Web services. Are they same or different? Are they same or different, guys? Are APIs is equal to web services? Web services is equal to APIs? Tell me, guys, what is the answer? Are APIs and web services same or different? Different or same? Different. Everyone is saying different. Okay. To give you the the what is the relation between APIs and web services, I'll say all web services are all web services are what? APIs. All web services are APIs. Everyone type in the chat box. Everyone type in the chat box now. Everyone need to write this. All web services are APIs. Everyone type this. I'll explain more. Before I go in depth, everyone write all web services are APIs. All these web services are APIs only. Okay, write that down. Next line that you have to type is, but all APIs are not web services. Got it? All web services are APIs, but all APIs are not web services. All APIs are not web services. All web services are APIs. Okay, this is one important point you need to understand. Okay, so I'll give an example of the web service. For example, there is a qfox.com website that you know, right? My website that I have hosted. Okay, I am the owner of this qfox.com. and I'm running the company known as QFox, where content creation is being done by me. Okay, we are sharing content on software testing and tools on this QFox.com. I hosted this website and all, right? This QFox.com, okay, what happens with this QFox.com is, here there is a server machine. When I hit this URL, a request is being sent to the server. Server is processing the request and sending the response back. And here request and responses are going over what? Over the internet. Over the internet, this responses, and over the internet, the request, and over the internet, the request is going. Okay. Request is going to the server. Okay. Over the internet. Once the server processes the request, a response is coming back to the client machine via the internet. Here, this request and response is nothing but APIs only. These are APIs only. These are APIs. The communication between the client and server will happen with the help of what? Over the internet. Over the internet, the communication between. Over the internet, the communication between the client and server is happening over what? Don't worry, okay? It's confusing, but I'll clear that, okay? I just started the topic, right? Okay. Uh, admin is saying that confusing, but who is admin? I don't know, okay? What is your actual name, admin? I know you are not admin for this, but what is your actual name? Sarita, yeah, Sarita. Try to rename yourself Sarita, because it will not be easy for me to call you up, okay? When I'm answering your questions and all, okay? No problem. I'm no need to say sorry, but I'm saying that, when I want to answer your question, right, I will not be able to say admin and all, right? That's a problem, okay? So try to rename yourselves in Zoom so that it'll be easy for me to, call you out. Now it's good. Great. Yeah, that's great, Sarita. Now you have updated, okay? So Sarita, it will be easy for you to understand. Just wait for a while. These two statements I just started explaining. So to explain that, I started this diagram. So qfox.com is there. The client is there. A request will be sent to the server over the internet, and the server code has processed this request and has prepared that something response and send it back to the client, right? Over the internet, if these APIs are working, these APIs are called as web services. Got it? Okay. If the APIs request is an API, response is an API, right? These APIs are working on the internet. They're communicating over the internet from the client machine to server machine. How the APIs are working? They're communicating via the APIs. Client and server are communicating over APIs. These APIs are running over what? Internet. Such kind of APIs are called as web services. Yes, API on internet is a web service. Simple. Okay. APIs on internet is a web service. Got it? Imagine about another software. Imagine about another software. For example, here there is a software known as I have worked on this project earlier in my tenure. Workshare Professional was a software name. Okay. There's software known as Workshare Professional. Everyone type in the chat box. What is the name of the software I have worked in my tenure? Type the software name. Okay. Just for a while, so that you will be in touch with the session. Okay. Workshare. Everyone type Workshare Professional in the chat box. Workshare Professional. This is one of the application. This is one of the application software that you can install. Exe file will be there. For installing this Workshare Professional, exe file. Okay. .exe file will be given by the client. The client has given the exe file. Okay. But before I install Workshare Professional, I have to make sure that in my computer machine, Microsoft Word document should be there. Microsoft Word software should be already installed in my machine. The Workshare Professional software runs on the top of which software here? This Workshare Professional software is running on the top of which software? MS Word software. These are web applications or desktop applications? What I was saying, Workshare Professional is a exe file means desktop application, right? Exe file means after I install Microsoft Word, on the top of Microsoft Word, if I install Workshare Professional using the exe file, what happens? Microsoft Professional will be integrated with the Microsoft Word software. When I launch Word here like this, okay? In my machine, Workshare Professional is not there. That is part of my previous projects when I worked in the company and all. I'm just taking that as an example, as a case study and all. Okay. If I open the Microsoft Word, somewhere here, insert tab was there, draw tab is there, design, layout, references, mailing, review, view, help, acrobat. Along with that, another tab will come known as Workshare tab. Here, another tab used to come known as the Workshare tab. But by default, it is not coming. But that would have happened if I was working in the project. Okay. So take this example and show you that example, guys. Okay. Different softwares that can coexist. Okay. All APIs are not web services. For that, I'll give you that example. So I'll just go to the new tab and say workshare professional. Okay. Like this, I'll search in the images. At least I cannot install right now and show you, right? But at least I'll try to show you how it will be integrated with the, okay, Word document. Okay. You can go and learn about this software if you want. Okay. Workshare compare and many softwares are there in the market, you see. So one image was there, but I don't know I can find this image or not. Okay. I got this image somewhere here. You see, you can clearly, I don't know whether you can see this image properly. It's not that much great. But here you see, along with the file home, insert, design, layout, references, preferences, I don't know, preview, view, and workshare tab is there. But in my machine, any workshare tab is coming in my Word document. In my machine, in the Word document, I'm getting any workshare software? No, right? No workshare software is coming. But if I have installed in real time, you would have installed this. Okay, in real time, if I have installed this workshare software in my computer machine, if I have access to exe file, okay, what will happen? It's not a openly available one. This kind of workshare tab will come. This extra compare options and all these things will come. By default, this workshare functionality will not be there in your Microsoft Word. But if you want to get this workshare, if your requirement is to compare some documents and all, this workshare software is required. Some companies will use workshare software to compare the documents and all. Assume that they have the requirement, they have installed workshare software on the top of Word document. Now the workshare software is integrated with your Word document. Now they are integrated means they are part of the same software now. They are together or not? Yes, like an extension of MS Word. You are right, Surya Teja. It's like an extension. Workshare is like an extension to the MS Word. Okay. After you install MS Word, if you install Workshare, Workshare will get integrated with the MS Word like an extension or browser extension like that. It will be integrated. Now, now Workshare and Word document are together. Now, if I select this compare option will be communicating with the Word. Yes or no? To get the things done, this Workshare compare option will be communicating with the Word. Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? Every option here of the Workshare will be communicating with the Word. Yes or no? Yes, it will be communicating. But does it have to travel over the internet for that? Now answer my new question. Does it have to travel over internet? For this compare option to come, after integrating with the Word document and they're intact there in the same machine in the desktop version and all, compare option need to travel whenever you select some compare option and all, it need to communicate to the Microsoft Word in the form of internet via the internet. It has to travel. No, it is in the same machine, same system, same software. It's integrated already. Why it need to communicate over the internet? Is that a web service? Something APIs which are not running over internet are not web services, right? APIs which are not running on the internet are not web services. Here, this compare option, whatever the APIs it is using for communicating with the board is a web service, can we say? It's not a web service. Got it? Now is answer clear for you? Why not all APIs are not web services? All web services are APIs. The APIs which are running on the internet are web services. That means all web services are APIs, but all APIs are not web services. In this example, these APIs are not traveling over internet. So if they are traveling over internet only, the APIs are called as web services. Are these APIs web services? No. That's the reason all APIs are not web services. Clear? Clear, guys? It is an API, but it's not a web service. Here it is an API, but it is a web service. Two cases are there. It is an API, it is also a web service. But here it is an API which doesn't travel over internet, so it is not a web service, it's just an API. Here API, which type of API? Web service type of API. That's why we say all web services are APIs. Okay, all web services are the APIs which run on the internet. But all APIs, there are some APIs which doesn't run on the internet. Hence, all APIs are not web services. Now clear, everyone? Someone got confused, right? Now it's clear. Yes, correct, Sarita. Web services means an API which travels through internet, but in the market there are some APIs which doesn't have to travel over the internet to communicate with the other functionalities of the application and all. Those APIs are not web services. Hence, all APIs are not web services. Only the APIs which run on the internet are called as web services. Yes. In most of the domains like e-commerce, automotive, telecom projects, etc., their APIs will run on the internet to communicate between the client and server or whatever it is, or real web applications for communicating between the functionalities also. Things all, everything will happen over internet. Even login functional, even analytics functionality to integrate to get the user details and all. API is required, and that API also will run on the internet only. Okay. For web applications, for web applications means every API in the web application will run on the internet. For desktop applications, APIs doesn't need internet. Okay, APIs doesn't need internet or may need internet. It doesn't matter. Okay, so any API which doesn't run on the internet is a normal API. It cannot be a web service. Any API which runs on the internet, which travels via the internet to communication purpose, that is a web service. That's the only thing, guys. Okay, simple thing to compare, call it is yes, you see, web service is a type of API which runs on the internet. So all web services will be APIs only. But all APIs are not web services because there are some APIs which doesn't need internet to travel. So that's the thing, simple. Okay, just to conclude, we have to say that, okay, web services are a kind of APIs. What we have to say finally? Web services, web services are a type of APIs which travel over internet, or which run over internet, which travel, or whatever the words you want to use, run over internet. Okay, simple. Okay, this is a major one. Okay, so you understood what are APIs, but there are different type of APIs. Okay, under APIs there are different type of APIs. One such kind of APIs types are web services, which run on the internet. APIs which run on the internet, which use internet like protocols like HTTP, HTTPS protocol they use, right? Such kind of APIs are called as web services. But there are other type of APIs which doesn't run on the internet. They are just APIs. They are not, those APIs are not equal to web services. Okay. So this is what is the knowledge you have to get. Yes, correct. That's it. Okay. So this is one important thing that you need to understand, guys. Is one important thing that you guys need to understand. The difference between APIs and web services you have to understand, guys. Okay. So, very interesting topics. Okay. This people can ask this kind of questions in the interviews, guys. Okay. I'm stretching a lot because you need to answer with them clearly in the interviews. Okay. Okay. Uh, what are web services? Okay. I know that. I know that API, web services are APIs. Web services are one type of APIs which travel over internet, internet via HTTP or HTTPS protocol. Okay. Can you describe more? Can you describe them more? Like this, I'll search. Yes, absolutely right. Web services are a specific type of APIs designed to work over the web or internet, standard protocols like HTTP or HTTPS. Okay. So let's go a bit deeper. How they differ from other APIs and how they are commonly used. A web service, a software designed to support interoperable machine-to-machine interaction over a network using web protocols using HTTP protocol is called as a web services. Web service. Okay. A software system designed to support machine-to-machine interaction over a network using web protocols is called as a web service. Okay. Communicates over internet or a network, uses HTTP or HTTPS as a transport protocol. For data exchange, they'll be using XML or JSON kind of things for data exchange. We'll cover more about XML and JSON later. So we have to learn about XML and JSON as part of APIs and all. When we go to the realistic nature of APIs and all, right? Okay. When we practically see some examples of API testing and all, you will see this XML and JSON examples. Okay. At that time, I'll explain that. Okay. Okay. Over web, the APIs running on the web are called as web services. Simple. All web services are APIs, but not all APIs. Whatever the definition I gave is coming here, but not all APIs are web services they are giving simply, right? The same thing. Because only the type of the APIs which run on the web, on the internet via using the HTTP or HTTPS protocol. These are the protocols of the web, right? That is internet, right? Only the APIs which travel over this kind of web, that is HTTP or HTTPS protocol, which is otherwise called as internet, are called as web services. Okay. Hence, not all APIs are web services. Types of web service. What are the different type of website? I'll explain about SOAP and REST later. Don't worry about that right now. Okay, the topic will become too complex if I start explaining about SOAP and REST. Let's take some other time for me to. Okay, I'll take some other time to explain about SOAP and REST, guys. What they are and what are they and everything. I'll cover in the. Okay, there are different type of stuff. We are going to do a lot of R&D on this. Okay, we are going to do a lot of research on them. Okay, I'll be explaining more about them. Restful and many things are there, guys. Okay, don't worry about what is restful. Okay, a lot of terminologies are there. When the right time comes, I'll explain what is rest, what is SOAP, what is restful. Okay, what is GraphQL, and everything I'm going to cover in the upcoming things. Okay, upcoming sessions. Web applications communicate with backend servers over the web. Okay, they use web services for that. Okay, mobile applications also will use. You see, any communication, even mobile application also will communicate with the server over the web only, right? On the internet. Okay, any API that travels. Okay, whether it is a web application or whether it is a mobile application, if a request is sent to the server over the internet, definitely that API is called as a web service. Okay. Okay, many things will be there, guys. Okay. Simple thing is web services are APIs accessed over the web using HTTPS protocol. Okay, whatever that is covered. Over the internet, they will travel. A kind of APIs which will travel over the internet using HTTP or HTTPS protocol. That is on the web or internet is called as web services. Okay. Any type of applications can use these web services type of APIs for communicating, for traveling over the internet, for their APIs to travel. Any application type can use web services, which are a type of APIs which run on the internet to get the results done. Okay. All that kind of APIs are called as web services. Okay. What apart from web services, what type of APIs are available in the market? Library or local APIs. APIs that allow code in your application to interact with local libraries or frameworks. Okay. Okay. They are called as local APIs. Okay. Like Java library, Python library. Okay. Java collections API, whatever it is. Okay. Operating system APIs. APIs provided by operating system to allow apps to interact with the hardware and system resources are called as operating system APIs. Okay. Hardware APIs. APIs to interact with physical hardware devices. Okay. They are called as physical hardware. Remote APIs, non-web. APIs used to communicate between different systems, but not necessarily over the HTTP. Yeah, like Workshare and all those stuff, right? They're called as remote APIs. Okay. Workshare software. Just now I showed you Workshare and Word document, right? Workshare is communicating with the, with the Word document with the help of this kind of remote APIs. Okay. Database APIs. APIs that allow apps to interact with databases using structural queries or functional calls is called as database APIs. GraphQL APIs. This I'll cover later. Okay. Many types will be there, guys. Okay. Local app logic reuse. Okay. So we'll go with one by one. Okay. Now it's clear. Great, Srini. Yes, correct, Srini. Whatever you have typed in the chat box is 100% right. You are mentioning that in one of the interview you got a question that is in your resume you have mentioned as web service testing. How it is different from API testing? They asked. Now the answer is clear. You will be able to answer the question easily in the interviews, right? That's great. Okay. Now you have the knowledge, full-fledged knowledge of the web services. Great. 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 So library or local APIs, different type of API types. Like we have learned about web services, right? Are there any other type of APIs we are exploring using ChatGPT? And once we get the information, we'll understand that. Okay. Give easy examples to understand it. What is that? Please summarize table, sir. What do you want, Parth? I didn't get your question here in the chat box. This one? This one you want? Don't worry about that, okay? A lot of things will come. When I use a lot of different tools, a lot of things will come. You cannot put everything together, right? Don't worry, okay? So I'll be explaining, okay? I'm digging deep, don't worry, okay? Just go with this. So we'll have a lot of examples to understand, okay? This is for web service. Anyhow, you understood what is web services, right? Okay. That's enough. Okay. There's one thing that you have to learn. So anything that I want to have a diagram or something, right? I'll definitely take the screenshot and put in the Telegram group. Okay. Put them in the Telegram group. Okay. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay. There's one thing. Okay. From today's session, I have put that in the group. That's great. Okay. So next thing that we are seeing right now is, library or local APIs. You see? The code from the same application or some predefined library like Java or Python. Okay, they don't need internet, right? Is there internet required for they are like ready-made tools in a toolbox you can use right away. Okay, you see Python's math library, import math you will say, and you are using this code in different place. Okay, so that's the thing. This falls into the library API. Library API means like Java library or Python library. While you are writing the code, you are reusing the code, reusing some predefined stuff in the code, right? Okay. To find out the square of 25, you don't have to write the logic from scratch, right? Rather, you can use this library of the Python to get the things done in a easier manner. If you are using some predefined classes, methods, and all variables of a library in your programming, right? That is called as a library API, okay? You are using the math library API, especially the square root function to calculate square root. You didn't write the logic. Python provides it through a local API, okay? Your Python programs are using the local API for Python local API or library API for getting the things done. Java collections API. Here you are using array list. You don't have to write the logic, right? You are simply reusing the predefined classes and from the programs and all, okay? You can use them as a keywords here. Naturally use, okay? Don't say API testing, web service testing side by side, okay? You can say that you see, now you know what is web services, right? All web services are APIs, all APIs are not web services, okay? So you can articulate in a better way, Sarita, saying that, I have good experience in API testing and, I have the good knowledge of different type of APIs, like, web services, you know, in few projects I have worked on web services, in few projects I have tested this kind of APIs, okay? Different type of APIs. Like that you have to articulate in your resume. Is that clear now? You can mention both, but how you are articulating is important. If you are unable to articulate, at least take the help of ChatGPT. It will tell you like how to articulate. I would like to put web service testing and API testing in my resume. How to articulate it better. Like that, you put a prompt in the ChatGPT. It will give you something, right? And that's how you can build a resume. Okay. Okay, that's the idea I would like to give you. Okay, even I am using ChatGPT, guys. Okay, no matter how many trainings I'm taking and here and there, right? Whenever I want to update my resume, I'll not do a lot of headache. Okay, I'll simply put current resume into the ChatGPT, copy paste that, and simply write prompts that now I want to add this web services testing in a proper way. I want to articulate in a better way. Okay, along with API testing, I want to enter web services testing. Try to put that in a better way into my resume. It will put it for me. Okay, just give that try. Okay, so nowadays everything is on footsteps. Okay, on our fingertips actually. You see JavaScript's a date API. Okay. You are reusing the date API of the JavaScript in your code. Okay. These are all examples of the local or library APIs. Okay. Local. Okay. Local or library APIs. These are the examples. Okay. Built into programming languages, run entirely on your machine. requires no internet, are easy to use and reuse. Okay, examples, you got it. Now everyone got a clarity like what are these local and library APIs web services? Are library APIs and local APIs web services? Okay, there are different names for local APIs or library APIs. Are they, you know, are they web services? No. Why they are not web service? Because this kind of local APIs or library APIs doesn't need internet. Okay, this for reusing. If you are writing some program and you are integrating TestNG, Java in your programs and all, right, in automation and all. Okay, you are reusing the code and all. For that, they don't travel over internet. Since your project, whatever the project you are creating here in the Eclipse side or something, you add all these libraries together in your project, and whatever the predefined classes, interfaces, variables, methods that are available in each and every library that you're using the same project are reusing without the need of internet. This kind of APIs are called as local APIs, or you can also call them as library APIs. Okay, so these are local or library APIs, guys. Okay, local or library APIs. What are the other type of APIs we had? What are the other type of APIs we have? Local or okay, operating system. Okay, the kind of examples that you have to give. If someone asks you, can you give some examples of APIs which are not web services? What you will do? If you get such kind of question in the interview, what you will do, guys? Getting my point? Can you give the example of library APIs or local APIs in that case? If someone asks you, can you give an example of an API type which is not web service? Can you give the example of library or local APIs? What do you say, guys? Yes, right? That's what is the learning. That's what is the learning. You have to be like that, okay, in the interviews and all, okay? Operating system APIs. Yes, you can also give the example of Workshare and all those stuff, or these libraries and all, okay? Don't worry about RESTful, Fatima. Right now, I don't want to discuss about RESTful. Let's go to the RESTful later, okay? What is REST? What is RESTful? Okay, a lot of things are there. What are architectures? You have to understand those concepts. Without that, if I start explaining about or can RESTful APIs running on internet, no one will understand. Okay, so just wait for a while, Fatima. We have upcoming sessions coming on RESTful things and all. I'll cover them in depth later. Okay, we'll systematically learn whatever need to be done at a proper point of time. Okay, so wait for a while. We are going in step by step manner. Let's not complicate the things at this moment of time. There's something known as operating system APIs, guys. Okay. APIs provided by the OS to allow apps to interact with the hardware and system resources are called as operating system APIs. Okay, there are other type of APIs. Okay, uh, explain explain them in an easy and detailed manner in a step-by-step way, step by step way with a good number of examples. Go with a good number of examples. Okay. An operating system API is a set of programming interfaces provided by the OS that allows programs to interact with system level resources like files and folders, memory, hardware, keyboard, mouse and camera, process and threads, software and hardware resources are being done, right? OS. What is the example of operating system? Windows. Windows is one of the example operating system. Windows will have APIs, which are set of programming interfaces provided by the OS that allows software program to interact with system level resources like all this kind of stuff. System clocks and timers, network interfaces, process and threads, many other stuff. Okay. Real world analogy. Okay. Imagine the OS is a hotel and your app is a guest. If you want a meal, you can call room service API to open a file. To schedule a wake up call, you request a timer, a second pillow, you would request more memory, API to allocate memory. Okay. So for OS, we'll do all this stuff. Okay. It will interact with the different type of resources of the system and hardware and get the things done for you. Okay. So all the APIs of the OS will interact with the necessary resources on your computer machine, hardware resources and system level resources and get the things done for you. Okay. File system APIs. OS will use file system APIs to create the files. Okay. If you want to create a file, okay, you will simply go here and say right click new file, right? But what is happens internally, OS will invoke this create file API internally. Okay. Different things and all. Okay. Process and thread APIs. Okay, memory management APIs. If you want to add some memory, allocate some memory to a particular software. Okay, this US games allocating more memory for objects, database engines managing memory for caching and all. Input output device APIs. OS will give you APIs to interact with your mouse. How the mouse is communicating? You see, I am moving my mouse. The cursor is this cursor is belong to the operating system. This cursor that you are seeing is belong to the operating system. How the APIs are running? How the mouse is connected to my OS and all those stuff via the API only. Okay, whatever I am typing, how it is going to the operating system and getting the things done via the APIs. OS is communicating with the internet and local network connections and all via the OS and all is being done by the APIs and all. Okay. You see, file system process management, many other examples, don't go in depth. That's okay. Okay. When you want to do a detailed research, you can do it, guys. Okay. So whatever the type of level I want to take you, I'll take you. But later, I cannot explain everything, each and everything for you. You have to also do a work. Okay. You guys also have to do some work, right? Okay. Okay. Are these OS level APIs web services? Let's ask this question. No, they are not web services. You see, another example for non-web services type of APIs are OS level APIs. Okay. This is OS level APIs only, right? Operating system APIs. Okay. Operating system APIs are not web services. OS APIs are not web services, guys. Okay. OS APIs are local, low level, fast, and part of the system itself. Hence, they are not website. Anything that runs, any API that runs on the internet are web services. But this local APIs or this library APIs or this OS APIs are not web services. Okay, your OS will use this kind of APIs to get all the things to communicate with the different type of system level resources like memory, file system, etc. Memory, all this stuff. Okay, threads, lot of many other things that you have, networking and timers, all this GUI APIs and many other stuff. Okay. So another type of APIs we have just now seen, guys. Okay. So the topic is endless, guys. The topic is endless. We can keep going. But I just wanted to give you some examples of some APIs which are not web service type of APIs. That is the reason I have explored few things for you. Let me go down a bit and try to figure out if I am missing anything here. Okay. So a lot of knowledge is there over the web. Okay. A lot of knowledge is there over the web, guys. Okay. You can go through that knowledge for now and try to gain a lot of knowledge about, okay, with curious and interesting way to learn this APIs, guys. Okay. Don't rush up. API testing is nothing, guys, but without this knowledge, you cannot make the session kind of wide or something. Okay. More knowledge you'll get, more the better way. You'll understand the technical stuff for you. Okay. There is some hardware APIs, camera API. Your smartphone will be interacting with the camera API, right? To take the picture, you select one option in your software. Camera software will be there in your mobile application, right? In your mobile phone, camera software will be there. When you touch that camera option, that red color button or whatever it is to capture the image, how it is communicating? Does it have to travel over the internet, guys? An app on your mobile phone need to travel over the internet to take a picture? No, right? Internally, it has a code. No, it's a non-web service type of API only. Okay, IoTs and all those stuff. Okay, how they are interacting with and a lot of things are there, guys. Okay, hardware APIs. Okay, give example for a mobile phone app like camera application using API to interact with the uh, camera feature of your mobile phone. Camera hardware feature of your mobile phone. Okay, hey, let software talk to the physical hardware like camera, GPS, and all. Okay. In mobile platforms like Android or iOS, the OS provides standardized APIs to let apps access and control hardware safely. Example, Android camera app using camera API. Okay, fine. Some request will be sent with the software that is there of your apps on your mobile application, mobile phones to communicate with the camera of your of your mobile phone, hardware of your hardware of your mobile phone. Okay. The camera app doesn't control hardware directly. It uses hardware APIs provided by the OS of the Android or iOS software. Okay. Android and iOS will give some kind of camera hardware APIs that camera app will use to actually open the camera, capture images or videos using the camera, and control zoom, focus, and all those stuff. Okay. Hope you are able to understand, right, how the API is everywhere. Okay. In this session, hope you are able to get some kind of clarity, like what are the APIs, what are the different type of APIs around you. Without your knowledge, this many type of APIs are there. You never explored, right? One of the type of APIs you already have imagined is web service kind of APIs that will communicate over the client and server over the internet. But you are coming across different type of APIs that are there in the market. Okay. Like what type of OS will use APIs and what type of hardware APIs will be there. Okay, important type of APIs I'm covering, including the web service APIs. Let's keep going and try to understand, few important things are there, remote APIs is another type of APIs. Okay. So here I'll be writing at a high level for your understanding, what are the different type of APIs we have learned is one type of APIs we have learned is web services APIs is one type of APIs. Another type of APIs we have learned is what? What is another type we have learned? Local. It's also called as library, local library APIs. Another type of APIs we have learned. What is other one? OS APIs. Okay. Then hardware APIs. I'm giving examples for each and everything also. Okay. You can also go to ChatGPT and explore them. You will get all the things, guys. Okay. Just for your reference, I'm creating this image. Okay. Now the another API is coming as remote APIs. Okay. Though we have understood what are remote APIs, but let's try to explore them. API is used to communicate between different systems, but not necessarily over HTTP. It can be on HTTP, it cannot be on HTTP also, are called as remote APIs. Remote non-web APIs. Okay, in remote there are different type of, maybe if you say remote APIs web means they are web services type of APIs where your software is interacting with other software over the web. Okay, that is remote APIs for web. If you say about remote APIs non-web means they are not web services type of APIs, but they're kind of local type of APIs only. They'll communicate within different systems. Okay. Let's write here, explain with simple and easy examples here. Okay, simple are very good. They are not simple actually. A lot of terminology involved. Okay. Web sockets, TCP connection and all. Okay. Or network. If you have networking knowledge, you can understand this part. Okay. Let's not dig there. Message queues and all. A messaging protocol that sends data via email. SMTP protocol. If you have a okay, email system will use SMTP protocol, guys. Okay, like a lot of things will use internet and all, right. There is some different type of protocols are there, like FTP. FTP stands for file transfer protocol. If you want to transfer the files from one place to another place, FTP is a protocol that is being used. Okay. Now over the internet, if you are transporting something, means that is HTTP or HTTPS protocols will be there. Okay. Email system, okay, like Gmail and all, Outlook and all this kind of email system will use SMTP as a protocol. Okay. any any easy example to understand? Simple greeting service, GPRC example. Okay. Imagine you have a greeting service running on a server. The client wants to get a greeting message by calling the service. Okay. Some Python code is there. This is a client that calls the service to the greeting card. Okay. Greeter service and all is there here. Yeah. The client calls the say hello method on the server to get a greeting. The server responds with a greeting like hello Alice. Okay. This is client code and this is a server code. Okay. Client, just give me a second. Okay, let's go. How it works. The client calls the say hello method on the server to get a greeting. Stub dot say hello. Here it is there, right? Say hello. To get a greeting, it is calling. Okay, WebSocket example, chat app. When a chat app where a client connects to a server, sends a message and gets a response instantly. Again, this is a server that listens for a message from the client. WebSocket client is there. JavaScript code is there. Okay, what is there here? Socket dot on open. I'm not able to understand here what the. Mm, let's ask in some Java code. It will be easy for me to understand. Even I know Python, but that's okay. Imagine a task processing system where a producer sends tasks to a queue and a consumer processes them asynchronously. Again, some code is there. Consumer, another code is there. This one code, maybe this one I can take an example. Okay. Producer, task sender is there. Okay. Consumer is a receiver. Okay. Producer is a sender and consumer is a receiver of the particular message. Okay. So here what is the producer sends a task, like process this task to the queue and all those stuff. Okay. Producer. Okay. Producer sends a task like process this task to the queue. The consumer waits for the message. This consumer will wait for the message. The task given by the producer. Consumer will wait. This program of the consumer will wait from the queue and process them one by one. This communication is asynchronous. The consumer doesn't need to be ready when the task is sent. Okay. Maybe and whenever the consumer is ready, it will send back the response. Okay. They are simple, easy to understand examples of remote APIs that work without HTTP. Whether you are calling a service, chatting in real WebSockets, or sending tasks from background processing, remote APIs allow for flexible efficient between systems. So this is one system, this is another system. Okay, they assume that this is one application, this is another application. They are communicating with each other. Okay, so for getting the service from other thing. Okay, these are called as remote. Okay. Okay, so okay, explain remote APIs in easy manner. Remote APIs are ways for different software systems running on different computers or servers. Maybe they are not connected over internet. Maybe they may be connected over internet. These two softwares may be communicating over internet. Or let's say there are two servers. There are two servers. One server is running one software. Another server is running over another software. They are not connected over internet, but they are connected over network or something. They can talk to each other without internet also. Okay. Even if they are far apart across an internet like internet or local network, they are communicating with each other. One software is communicating with another software. In that case, one software will use remote APIs to communicate with another software to get the things done. Okay. You see, this is what is the example of the remote APIs. Remote just means the API is not running in the same program or device. It is on another system or software. Okay. It's on another system or software. One software in my machine is running over, is communicating with another software in your mobile phone or something. Okay. For that, internet may be a means, or without internet also using another way, by putting two mobile phones together nearby, the communication can happen, right? If you enable some kind of services nowadays. Anyone know any example of kind of services that are there? The examples you have in your mind, like, to transfer a file from my mobile phone to your mobile phone without internet. Bluetooth, right? Bluetooth, yes. So to make that happen, some APIs will be there, right? APIs like remote APIs can be used. Share it apps are there. They don't use, even you should not use Wi-Fi or something. Okay, even you can use Wi-Fi also. Okay, infrared is there. Many things are there, right? Those are called as, those can use. But anyhow, you got an answer, right? Help software systems talk across different software systems. Okay, remote means a remote software, not my software, another software. Okay, maybe it can use internet. If in case of internet, remote APIs will become web services only. Okay, remote APIs are also web services because they are traveling over internet. If they are not using internet as a communication means between two systems or two softwares or something, Then also they are remote APIs with our non-web services type. Okay. Yeah. So hope you got some answer right. Right? Two systems, two different separate systems communicating with each other will use remote APIs. Okay. That is the terminology you have to understand. Okay. Remote APIs terminology. So keep digging for more information, guys. A lot of things are there. Different knowledge we can get. Okay. So let's not worry about database APIs now, Okay, we can go deep. Okay, GraphQL APIs, don't worry. Streaming APIs, don't worry. You can keep checking for different things, but I hope that we have got good amount of knowledge from today's session regarding the APIs and all. So with this, I'll end this topic, guys. We are done with what is an API and what are the different type of APIs, like web service APIs, local APIs, library APIs, hardware APIs, OS APIs, remote APIs. What are the other types we have seen? Okay, different type of APIs we have seen now, right? Different type of APIs we have seen. So that's the thing, guys. Okay. So with this theoretical knowledge we have got, guys, in the next session we are going to start with the practical knowledge. We are going to start installing the Postman tool and all. Okay. So since we got some, you see, a lot of other theoretical knowledge is there, like REST, SOAP, RESTful. A lot of things are there. A lot of terminals still there, but I don't want to go too deep right away in the beginning itself. So let's get used to some portion of API testing, like using Postman tool. We'll start some API testing. Okay. So what is how to download, install Postman tool? What are the different ways of downloading and install? We'll see that. Then how to perform API testing? What are the advantages of API testing and some theoretical concepts like architecture, like SOAP and REST and monolithic and microservices. Okay. What are the different type of APIs? We have a lot of things to be covered later, guys. Okay. So we'll explore more. Okay. Don't worry about the interview questions, Rini. Whatever the concepts I'm explaining, right? Each and every concept is an interview question, okay? We cannot say that, you can even use ChatGPT to figure out, like, what are the top 100 ABI testing interview questions. You'll get them, okay? Why to take it from me? When there are tools like ChatGPT and all, why to collect all the interview questions from me, right? Simply put that query into the ChatGPT, you'll get it, right? Simple. Everything ChatGPT is there nowadays. So you don't have to depend on anyone. Only thing that you have to depend on me is that the guidance. I am giving you the guidance to go in a proper direction. Okay. How you are taking up next step is up to you only. Okay. How you are exploring it and how you are using that knowledge for your purpose to attend the interviews, to tackle the interviews, to learn more about APIs and all is up to you. That's what I can say. Okay. Yeah, great, Srikanth. Thanks for your feedback, Srikanth, that you have liked the today's session. And yeah, even I am very interested and passionate about teaching API for you guys. Okay, in the coming days, I'll be teaching in more depth about the APIs, and we'll explore more things about APIs things together. Okay, so with whatever the knowledge I have, and with the help of ChatGPT enabled generative AI enabled knowledge, we'll be exploring more and we'll get more knowledge together. Okay, fine, great. Yeah, sure, Ankit. We'll see the practical session soon. Okay. Next session will be definitely practical. Okay. We have to install Postman tool and then start, performing some testing of some APIs and all. Okay. I'll take necessary examples and explain you a lot. And we'll do a lot of research on that using ChatGPT also to get more knowledge. Okay. And to make our learning more better. Fine. Any questions? Any other questions, guys?
Sir, do we have a rest assured framework in the API testing, sir?
Yeah, now it will not be there. Once our Selenium Java automation is completed, we'll go for rest assured. Okay.
In rest assured, what sort of framework that we have to use, sir?
Don't worry about all those stuff now, okay? I'll be covering everything for you in rest assured, okay? Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Thank you.
Rest assured is a library,
Thank
right? We'll go depth, don't worry. Okay? When time comes, we'll go depth. You see, the opener for the rest assured framework is that first we have to complete Selenium Java automation. Okay. Once you are good with Selenium Java automation, rest assured is nothing. Okay. It's just about the concepts and knowledge and that the kind of depth that we want to go. We'll explore that definitely in the rest assured framework. Okay. Don't worry about that. I'll cover each and
you,
everything
sir.
for you. Don't worry. Yeah. Next, any other questions? Don't worry about, there is nothing, there's no particular tips or something to remember the HTTP codes. Even I forget, okay? I'm happy to forget. Don't worry. Whenever there is an interview, I'll remember and go to the interview. Okay? That's the only way. If I have an interview on these things, right, I'll revise once and go. That's the only way to remember, okay? I don't ask you to remember every day and all this HTTP codes and all, okay? The more you use it, automatically you remember. If you don't use it frequently, the only thing is that before the interviews, you have to remember, okay? Otherwise, there is no other tips for remembering the HTTP codes. Okay, but there is a topic on API, this HTTP codes also in this same API testing course. At that time, I'll explain the important HTTP codes and what are the important things that you have to remember first. After that, whenever the interviews are there, whatever you have to remember next also, I'll cover Surya Teja for you. Okay, don't worry. Is that okay, Surya Teja? Okay. You want ChatGPT link? Whatever the R&D done? Yes, that is a good idea. Yes, why can't we use this? Right? Yes, this is the one Surya Teja is asking me. Definitely, I'll share this create link. Copied. Okay. So yeah, I'll do one thing. New folder. Chat GPT links. Also, I'll share here. Okay. You can take it from here, right? So this I'll provide it here. You can take it from here. Right click. Google Docs. Create and share. Okay. What is the link all about? Yeah, don't worry. Understanding types of APIs, etc. APIs and why developers have to build them in real time. Okay. So this is the link. There's a ChatGPT link. You can take it from there. And also, I'll put this ChatGPT link in the WhatsApp group also for your reference. Tomorrow, if you need, you can go there. Otherwise, okay. There's one ChatGPT link used in today's session. Okay. ChatGPT, ChatGPT link used in today's session. Okay, great. Fine, great. That is one thing that is done. And yeah. Uh, Yes, tomorrow manual testing again. Okay, from Monday onwards again to Friday, we'll go with manual testing. We'll also do some R&D on research on the manual testing as we are in the ending part. I don't want to wrap up the manual testing. I'm in a hurry. Even I'm in a hurry of starting Selenium Java, but I don't want to start. The reason behind that is we have API testing anyhow, that is manual. Okay. Then this manual testing is also manual kind of stuff for a while. So let's continue them for a while together. And once we go to Selenium Java automation, then we can parallelly start other API automation in the weekends, or we can even continue Selenium Java over the weekends and weekdays also. Okay, we'll see what is the plan. Okay, we'll try to figure out the ways. Sometimes I'm also taking some breaks and all, but I'll try my level best in not taking the breaks in the coming days. But let me see. Okay, very important only. I'll be taking the breaks. That question is very different, Srini. I didn't understand actually. Let me see if any other questions I'm missing. Interview questions, I told you, right? Yeah, ChatGPT you can use for getting the interview questions. Simple thing is that ask it, top 100 API testing interview questions to get started. If you are in a hurry to the interviews, you can ask the question like this. You'll get all the questions. Okay, what is an API? What is the difference between all these things? All this we'll be able to answer once we complete the sessions and all. Okay, a lot of things I'm going to cover here. Okay, let them come. The more questions, you see, the interview questions is another way of learning the API testing also. Okay, so once we done with the course and all, by writing all these interview questions also, we can learn the things in depth. Okay, that's another way of learning the things. Don't think that interview questions is only for interviews. Interview questions will help you in enhancing your knowledge. Okay, even I use interview questions for enhancing my knowledge. Okay, the more interview questions I learn, more the knowledge I can enhance myself. Okay, that's another technique we can use in real world to gain more knowledge.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, fine, fine.
So Srini here. Actually, my question was like for manual API testing, is there any structure or framework
No, 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 nothing
which
is
we
there.
need
The
to
process
follow?
will be, you see, there
Okay,
is a process for manual API testing, which
process.
I'm going to cover in the
Yeah.
coming sessions. Okay. So
Okay.
what happens
Okay.
in real project, because I have worked on several projects where API testing was there already for me. Okay. I'm going to give you some real world case studies. Okay. How I perform the API
Sure, sir.
testing. Okay. Then with that, you will understand all your doubts will be cleared. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, what are the different ways? We'll do all research also at the same time and we'll see what exactly is there. Okay, what more is there also we'll cover. Don't worry. Behind my knowledge also we'll explore. Okay, with whatever the real world knowledge I have, along with that we'll use ChatGPT generative AI features and all to explore more. Even whatever I don't know also, I'll try to teach you, okay, with my experience and all. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Mrudula Vinod is asking me topic. What is the topic question means? I didn't get that, Mrudula. Okay, manual testing topic you mean to say, Mrudula, for tomorrow session? Oh, topic is somewhere we are moving to the Agile and Jira. Okay, Agile and Jira is the current one. Okay, we are discussing about different SDLC models and general manual testing sessions. Okay, uh, Jira and Agile are the things we are going to discuss. Okay, so but we are discussing about different SDLC models. Then after we'll go to the Jira and Agile SDLC model and different methodologies, and then we'll move on to the Jira tool. Okay, that's the topic, Mrudula. If I'm understanding correct your question, that's the answer. Is that correct? Have I gave you the correct answer or are you expecting anything else? Yeah, mind map image is here it is there in the notes. Okay. You can go here. API notes I already gave, right? Here, mind map image is there here. Okay. In the Google Drive, in the API testing notes folder, you have all these notes. Okay. Having the mind map images. J. Is it okay? Great. Fine. Mrudula clear now? Mrudula clear with your question? Or did I didn't I have do I have to give another answer? Just want to know, Mrudula, from your end. Think she's not there. Mrudula is there, but not answering. I don't know why. Okay, fine. Any other questions, guys? Yes, got the answer. Fine. Cool. Any other questions, anyone? Any other questions, anyone? I told you, right, Mrudula? Like, yeah, manual testing topic. Yes. Agile and Jira. Agile and Jira is a manual testing topic. Okay, fine. Okay, fine then. That's all from my end, guys. We'll wrap up this session now. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Jay, for the feedback. That's great. Okay, thank you very much. So, guys, we'll meet in the next session. API will be continued in the next weekend, whereas on the weekdays from 5th to 9th, we are going with the manual testing sessions. Agile and Jira are the topics, and behind that, we'll also explore a few other topics. I cannot give you the topic list, but we'll definitely do some good work. Okay, good knowledge. I will try to gain good knowledge on manual testing and all those stuff. We'll do some things, something that we have not done so far. Okay, since you already got the manual testing knowledge, is manual testing is actually done, guys. Okay, but whatever we are learning in the manual testing sessions on weekdays is, is something where we are trying to gain more knowledge. Okay, we want to be something more of whatever we want to know. Okay, so that's where we are trying to reach on the actual manual testing sessions are actually done in my case. That's much whatever I covered is already done, but I don't want to stop the course. That manual testing sessions there, I want to explain more about something new things for the beginners and all. Okay, to learn more and different areas that we can focus and all together. You can do some R&D together and we can learn some other stuff that I have not covered during the general manual testing sessions and all. That I'll be taking some days. Okay, we'll try to cover them. Okay, fine. With that note, let me wrap it up. Hope I have answered all your questions from today's session. So see you tomorrow or on manual testing sessions and see you in the next weekend, that is on Saturday, on API testing sessions. Bye everyone. Take care. Yeah, welcome guys. Bye.